Jacoby knows everything that I'm thinking. And he's got the key to my mind, and he twists and twists and twists.
Jacob's got something planned. I can smell it in the air. We just gotta figure it out.
If you find someone you know who's now a part of that cult army, they're long gone. No way to save them. I learned that the hard way. Better off saving yourself.
It's so hard to keep it straight. That goddamn cage, it's like my wires are crossed.
Jacob always tried to look out for his little brother. Imagine what he's gonna do when he finds out you killed him.
Anyone who tries to escape the cult are hunted down by those monster wolves. Judges, they call them.
Have you seen how they make their chosen? Barbaric, if you ask me.
You know, I heard Eli used to work with Jacob back in the day.
I know Jacob's the bad guy and all, but every bad guy thinks they're this misunderstood hero, right? Has anyone ever tried to just, take him for coffee and talk to him?
I would have rotted in Jacob's gate if it wasn't for you.
Pretty sure Jacob thinks all of this is normal. I want to tell him, hey, look around, buddy boy. Nobody does this. You're a damn war criminal. But I don't got a death wish, so...
Sometimes it's all just too much. Then I remember my purpose. Our purpose.
When you tried to arrest Joseph, Jacob got wind of it, and things got real crazy here in the Whitetail Mountains.
Jacob sees himself as beyond the other so-called heralds. He views his work as the most important, and that the other's purpose was to support him.
Jacob, he's in control. He controls everything.
Some people say that it was Eli that provoked Jacob, that we'd all be okay if we just didn't fight back. Fuck that. I've seen what Jacob does. If it wasn't for Eli, we'd all be 6 feet under by now.
Deputy Pratt always came off as a bit of a douchebag, but that doesn't mean he deserves what Jacob's doing to him.
Saw one of my fishing buddies the other day. He was carrying a rifle and yelling about the father like a damn loon.
Yeah, things are way fucked.
No one can take Jacob on. It's just not possible.
Jacob is a veteran. Used to be some hot shit Marine or something. Makes sense with how he's training his army, I guess.
The Chosen is not just a title. They're the best of the best, handpicked by the Father to join him in the aftermath.
Jacob's got to pay for what he did to you, and your friend, the deputy. It's not right to mess with someone's head like that.
I don't know how much more of this I can take.
The music. I don't know what it is, but don't listen. It's controlling people.
I don't know how much more I can take of this.
Should see what Jacob's been doing with all those wolves he's been rounding up.
The mind is the most dangerous weapon, and Jacob knows that all too well. No one was really prepared for this.
Whitetails are honest, decent people. They're fighting the good fight, and they deserve any success that comes their way.
If Jacob takes you away and shows you the chair, he's gonna break you. He's gonna turn you into one of them. Scary as fuck.
Jacob's plan worked. Tried to warn him. I told him not to go back. I don't know what to think anymore.
Jacob would happily sacrifice everyone and everything in Hope County to feed Joseph's collapse. He doesn't care about faith.
It's gonna take a while for Deputy Pratt to recover from this. If he ever does.
Won't catch me living in no bunker. You want to kill me? Come at me man to man in broad daylight, you sumbitch.
I hear Jacob's bunker's fucking huge. Can hold hundreds of people with enough supplies to last them for years.
I can't believe Eli helped that cult build their bunker. Not that that would have stopped him if he hadn't, but maybe it would have slowed him down. There's not much of the old Deputy Pratt left. Jacob made sure of that. Almost would have been better if he died in there.
Holy shit. Did you hear what Jacob's done to that deputy they caught? Oh, wait. That's your buddy Pratt. Well, maybe it's better you don't know.
Wolves are already pretty fierce, but when Jacob's done with them, they are something else.
Yes, and when it's finally safe, I'm gonna get as far away from this place as I can.
Seeing a lot more folks running scared, leaving town. I ain't going nowhere. Jacob sure did a number on Pratt. Not sure there's much of him left in there.
John liked to throw his weight around, trying to prove how strong he was. Jacob knows he's strong. His actions are more controlled, and he's a lot scarier for it.
Jacob's gonna win. He always wins.
Faith was Joseph's favorite, but Jacob is his toughest soldier, bar none. They're using people as live targets. Can't believe the cult would do that. I don't want to die. I still got my whole life ahead of me.
I came to the Whitetail Mountains to be one with nature. All I'm closer to is a death cult and murderous wolves. Nature my ass.
We all had so much respect for Eli, and we still do. We'll keep the Whitetail militia going, 'cause that's what he would have wanted.
If you ever find me strapped into one of those chairs, just go ahead and kill me. Better dead than be turned into a fucking Peggy.
How does Jacob use music to train his recruits? Is it kind of like listening to angry beats to get pumped for the gym? Actually, I don't want to know.
Yeah, Eli's dead. But that doesn't mean we're just gonna roll over and die.
Yes, my friend, yes.
I hear they're training wolves to hunt down escapees. Sick fucks.
I lost my brother to those assholes. There's no way I'm gonna give up now.
You hear Jacob's wolves howling. Better start running fast.
I never thought there was such thing as monsters until I saw one of Jacob's judges. Those things are fucking terrifying.
That's the God's honest truth.
Don't go anywhere by yourself. There's Peggies everywhere looking for fresh recruits.
Jacob's a madman. We have to take him down, now, when he's vulnerable.
Jacob has got eyes everywhere. He knows your thoughts before you think them. He's inside your head right now.
John was always super emotional, but Jacob's buttons won't be so easy to push.
These mountains are crawling with Jacob soldiers. If they see you, you're done for.
Call their fucked up wolves judges. Decide your goddamn future.
The Whitetails are doing their best, but they're no match for Jacob's soldiers.
I don't know how much more of this shit I can take. Jacob's taken everything and left us dry.
As if our home hasn't seen enough shit. Now we got this damn cult to deal with.
That fucking music they play, it's all part of their brainwashing.
Eli's been looking for new recruits for his militia. Lord knows we need 'em.
When life gets tough, I like to take a long drive. Clears the mind. But with these judges and the cult around, I can't risk it.
I don't know about you, but I just want to fish.
Telling judges to hunt people down is like telling them to sentence us all to death. The only difference is whether it'll be a quick or a slow death.
Wolves used to be just this natural predator in the wild until the cult experimented on them. These judges are like nasty, dire wolves now. Careful out there.
John Seed was a tough nut to crack, but Jacob has built a merciless force of chosen fanatics and monstrous judges.
We're being hunted down out here as if we're animals. There aren't many of us here. At the rate it's going, we'll go extinct.
Wonder how the Whitetail militia's doing now that Eli's gone. Losing a leader in a time of chaos is like losing both your guide and anchor.
Shit. Every person I meet might be for the last time. Losing people left and right to Jacob and that cult. Damn, I might be seeing you for the last time.
I've got no clue how Jacob's using music to influence people, but I want no part in it. That's it. I'm gonna throw out my whole music collection.
I hope to God Pratt's gonna be okay. The shit that man's going through, I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
We've all heard of Eli around here. He's something of a legend for all he's done for us.
There are more Peggies every day. Jacob must be shipping them in.
I wasn't fond of wolves to begin with, but those judges are a whole other level of scary.
When people survive through Jacob's trials, they ain't themselves anymore. They've become Peggies. Gotta remind myself of that when I'm fighting them.
Not that I miss the wolves, but I wonder what the fucking Peggies are doing with them.
Every time I look around, another Whitetail's gone missing.
It looks like a goddamn war zone around here.
Everyone around here has lost people to those fucking Peggies.
My stress levels have reached an all-time high. I don't have the money to keep up with the cost of prescription meds. Should have moved to Canada with my cousin.
There are a lot of wackos around here, but Jacob is one sick motherfucker.
Yeah, Jacob's a real piece of work.
I really hope the rumors of experimenting on animals is untrue.
I don't know if things will ever go back to normal around here.
Have faith. We'll get through this.
I don't know what to make of all this.
I seen more of those strange wolves in the forest. Pretty sure they're Jacob's fucked up pits.
Why couldn't these Peggies find somewhere else to settle? Why here?
One of our guys asked me if I ever felt bad about all the cult we've killed. I nearly shot him right there for thinking that way.
Jacob's guys keep snatching people up left and right.
We'll get him. Don't worry.
I know Eli's doing the best he can, but it's not enough. The Peggy's got us outnumbered and outgunned.
More and more whitetails are going missing. I really fear for them.
Can't say I like the look of those judges. I'll be honest, they scare the shit out of me.
What the fuck is Jacob's sacrifice is what I'd like to know.
If we're gonna avenge Eli, now's the time to do it.
Keep this up and the Whitetails are gonna take back what's ours.
I'm just doing my best to survive.
Enough being on the defensive. Now's the time to attack.
Takes a lot of guts to go up against Jacob.
Didn't take much to convince me to join. Just look around you. You can't fight an army on your own.
Doesn't matter how much they throw at us, we ain't giving up.
Jacob has to die. That's all there is to it.
I don't think that deputy's gonna live much longer. I hear Jacob's furious, and you can be sure who he's gonna take it out on.
That Deputy Pratt's been through hell and back. Hopefully he'll be okay.
All I know is that Jacob has to pay for all he's done.
Good to see more people stand up to these sick fuckers.
Good news indeed.
This is why I joined the Whitetails, to stop assholes like Jacob.
I'm not giving up. Not until the Peggies are cleared out of here.
We gotta take Jacob down. There's no other way.
Cult's thinning out. I don't want to get too far ahead, but I'm feeling good. Better than I've felt in a long time.
There's only one way to rehabilitate a judge, and that's with a bullet.
I'm trying to think of ways of getting out of trouble. Say a judge is onto me and I fling a stake at him, I'd have time to run away, right? But damn, I don't run fast.
What the judges have to do with training their own soldiers, I can only guess.
Took out 8 Peggies today. That's a new record.
We can kill all the Peggies we find, but it won't matter unless we kill Jacob.
John was the runt of Joseph's so-called heralds. Smart of you to take him out early.
I've lost a few friends to that damn cult. Makes my blood boil.
Jacob's been rounding everyone up in these mountains recruiting for his goddamn army.
Damn Peggy's got roadblocks on all the major roads. Been using the hunting paths, and even those aren't safe anymore.
Cult's enslaving people. Folks get brainwashed and then they serve Jacob's army. Don't know any church that does that.
I just want it all to be over.
The cult needs to get off our land.
It's only once Jacob's dead that we'll be free.
News of Faith's fall has reached us here. That was some great work you did. Amen.
Holy shit, does that Jacob got a goddamn chip on his shoulder?
We lost Eli. He built the Whitetail militia from the ground up. He's our only defense against the cult. What do we do now?
I didn't get a wink of sleep last night. Can't afford to when these freaks keep snatching our guys.
Tell you the truth, it's really been messing with my fishing.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Jacob is out to kill each and every one of us.
Can't believe Eli's gone. That man was a hero. We're gonna win this for him.
If you start crying, I'm gonna beat you with my belt buckle.
Don't think I can take much more of this.
Things are turning for the better. I know it.
The cult's hunting parties are taking everyone they can find and bringing them to the lumber mill. I wish I could save them, but I'm just one person.
Bet you're always feeling like someone's out there to get you. Well, you and me both. Being afraid all the time is just another one of those mind control things.
Jacob's really taken a toll on the whitetail ranks.
I grew up thinking there was always some way to redeem yourself, but with Jacob, he's past the point of redemption. Same for Joseph. They both deserve to die.
I sure hope Deputy Pratt's okay. I don't know what Jacob has planned for him, but it can't be good.
Faith is dead, and her rot removed from the world. Amen.
We gotta move on Jacob while we have the chance.
Fuck yeah.
I knew this would happen. I tried to warn Eli, but he wouldn't listen.
I'm worried that Eli's not cut out for this fight. He's got, what, a few dozen whitetails? Jacob's got a whole fucking army.
Jacob's got the only key to his armory. I mean, the bunker he built in these here mountains.
I've seen a lot of judges around here. Jacob's been taking normal wolves and using bliss to turn them into these monsters.
Know who's gone ape shit? Jacob. He lost a good part of his army. He was building it for Joseph. Guess the father's losing it too.
Some people think Eli's a bit rough around the edges. Not me. He's never steered us wrong. I'd follow him to hell and back.
I can't believe no one saw this coming. When Jacob first set up shop, I thought, this guy's trouble. Think anyone listened to me? Nope, not at all.
Pratt was always a bit of an asshole, but that doesn't mean he deserves to be tortured or anything.
I'm so tired of hearing about these training camps popping up and so close to home, no less. There's no way people can raise their families here.
The Whitetails are fully behind you. Just need to replicate your miracle of taking down Faith. Easy, right?
I can't tell you how pleased I am to hear you killed Faith. My folks were down in Henbane, and she destroyed them.
If someone doesn't go after Pratt soon, there won't be anything left to save.
Someone's gotta take Jacob out. Eli's death's gotta mean something.
It's hard. Some of these Peggies used to be friends. And now we're shooting each other.
I wish there was a way to help turn the judges back, but putting them down is the only way.
Can only imagine what it's like to be left in a cage with nothing to eat for days. God. Do you think that's what they're doing to that deputy of yours? Poor bastard.
Those judges out there are fucking beasts. They caught this guy and practically tore him apart.
Yeah, Jacob must be stopped.
They say there's no such thing as monsters, but those wolves, they are monsters.
Jacob can't get away. Not after what he did to Eli.
If only Eli had more manpower. The Whitetails are the only ones standing between us and the cult. If it wasn't for them, we'd all be goners.
This is gonna be over soon, one way or another.
Wonder how everyone else is doing.
Eli's given so much. We all have. Someone's gotta take Jacob down, otherwise everything's lost.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
You know who I feel sorry for? That Pratt fella. He's got to be going through hell right now.
We can't let them win.
Don't listen to Jacob's music. It fucks with your head.
I've never seen a scarier-looking, psycho-killer, cold-eyed bastard than Jacob Seed.
Things don't look good now, but I still put my trust in Eli. He knows what he's doing.
The Whitetails started out as kind of a joke. Bunch of drunken weekend warriors shooting shit up in the woods. I can tell you one thing. Nobody's laughing now.
I've seen some of Jacob's experiments. Call him wolf judges or something. They hunt people down in the woods.
Whatever Jacob is doing to those wolves is a crime against nature.
That's for sure. I hate to have to kill those judges, but there's no other way.
Does Jacob still have that deputy? Poor man, he must be living hell itself.
I've got friends in the Whitetail militia. They're doing what others are too afraid to do. Fight for what's right.
Used to be nice living here. I mean, before Eden's Gate got their hands on it.
Not sure what Jacob wants with all those wolves, but it can't be good.
It's not even safe to step out of your house anymore.
Takes a lot of guts to go up against Jacob. Watch out for those arrows. That's how they drop you before they take you.
I sure wouldn't want to be on Jacob's bad side.
I hear they use these judges to choose who gets to move up in their ranks.
Jacob's got patrols out to catch people. Add them to that damned army of his.
It's too bad about Eli, but I don't blame you. I blame Jacob, this fucking father.
They keep taking more and more wolves. What the hell are they doing with them?
I can tell you, Jacob is up to some crazy shit.
This may be a goddamn clusterfuck, but killing these left-wing nutbars puts lead in my pencil.
Eli sure will be missed, but we have to keep fighting. That's what he would have wanted.
It's all Joseph's fault. All of this was because of him. To free Hope County, Joseph's gotta go. All there is to it.
Jacob's got training camps all over the place, putting together his own goddamned army.
Shit. Jacob's using music to control people. I mean, does he even have the right to do that? If I made music, wouldn't want anyone to use it that way.
It's my mom's wish that I never put myself in danger. But with the Whitetail Mountains being the way they are, it's not a promise I can keep.
We gotta show folks there's nothing to be scared of. It's our job to keep the faith fire burning.
You gotta save us from all this darkness, all this death. Jacob's losing it, and he's out hunting down more people. He's gonna do anything for Joseph's plan to work.
Stripping people of their mind and free will to build an army for the father, that ain't right. I still can't believe Jacob and Joseph are brothers.
Don't give in to despair.
Jacob never showed anyone any mercy. We won't either.
I hate to rejoice in anyone's death, but Faith was a bad seed. A lost cause. World is better off without her.
Cult's got the wrong idea about sacrifices. My neighbor's killed his old man, 'cause Jacob said so. For fuck's sakes, you don't do that.
Can only imagine what it's like to be left in a cage with nothing to eat for days. Goddamn torture is what it is.
More that damn cult keeps pushing us, the more we push back.
My mind is my own. I won't let anyone tamper with it. It's what makes me free. And that's why I'm fighting. For freedom.
With all the chaos you and the Whitetails are causing, it's no surprise that Jacob's losing it. Don't quit. Not now, not ever.
I've never felt so helpless. I've lost so many people, and I couldn't protect everyone I care about. That's what war does to you.
We've been losing good people to that cult. But that doesn't change anything. We'll keep fighting.
You know what freaks me out? Those judges. The moment they target you, you're a goner. I lost a friend that way.
Remember, don't tell nobody about the wolf's den.
Whatever's going down at the Grand View, it's definitely not a hotel anymore. People go in there, but they don't come out the same.
I don't want to think about that.
Stories of mind control always freak me out. Add some judges to the mix and we're all doomed. Please, you gotta stop all this.
If only the Whitetails had more manpower. They're the only ones standing between the cult and the total collapse of our home.
Things look pretty bleak right now, that's for sure.
Nobody's allowed to probe my brain for anything. We're already losing our privacy with all that data collecting. And now we're losing our free will? No way.
Hunting parties are out. Hounds are out. Jacob's on a mission to turn us all into Peggies. I don't know how we're supposed to win this.
Yeah, Jacob's gotta go.
Close friend of mine got taken. I'm so paranoid thinking they'll be out to kill me as a sacrifice or something next.
So many people lost to the cult. My whole family's nearly gone. This is what I get for moving to the mountains.
Just watch your back.
I feel sorry for that Deputy Pratt. Who knows what kind of tortures Jacob is putting him through.
They thought I was crazy to join the Whitetails. You don't know anything about guns, they said. Well, thanks to Tammy, I'm not scared of the Peggies anymore. They're scared of me.
You working for Eli? Thank heavens for people like you. Would have had my ass handed to me ages ago if it weren't for you folks.
Eli's gotta have balls of steel to go up against a psycho like Jacob.
Glad the Whitetail militia have our back. This whole place would belong to Jacob if it wasn't for them.
Not sure if the Whitetail militia's gonna make a difference or not. If what the father says is true, we're all gonna die anyways.
Careful when you're in the woods. Those judges of Jacob's have a tendency to sneak up on you. Before you know it, you're surrounded.
I keep telling Eli that we need to push harder. Take the fight right to Jacob.
It's a real shame they got your buddy Pratt. Tell you what, after we get Jacob, we'll go help you find him.
I've heard that Jacob's bunker can hold 1,000 people. Only those that are chosen by the Father are allowed in.
They're obviously insane.
I can't believe you saved Deputy Pratt. I thought for sure he was gone for good.
Jacob's hunters have taken more whitetails lately. They use these drugged arrows.
Looks like Jacob's ramping up his recruitment efforts. He's got those damn hunters knocking people out and dragging them off to God knows where.
If you see someone, they're not your friends anymore. They're just Peggies now. Can't show any mercy. Lord knows they don't.
People might not get Eli. He's lost pretty much everything. Us Whitetails is the only family he has left.
So many friends have gone missing. I hate to say it, but I hope they're dead. Better that than turned into a goddamn Peggy.
I heard that Jacob got a hold of one of the deputies from that botched arrest. That guy's gonna get messed up in the trials.
Those fucking wolf things scare me. You know what they call them? Judges. Like if they don't like you, that's it. You're dog food.
One of them cult hunting parties nearly got me. Then the Whitetail swooped right in, took 'em all out. Thank God for Eli, am I right?
Each of the seeds built a bunker, a safeguard against the coming apocalypse.
They might have started out as some sort of weekend warriors, but the Whitetail militia has become a real army of sorts.
Next time you meet your friend Pratt, be careful. Jacob does things. To your mind. Might not be the same person you remember. Don't say I didn't warn you.
The Peggies got their own lieutenants, but they call them the Chosen. Don't know what they've been chosen for, mind you.
I've had just about enough of Jacob and this fucking father.
Jacob deserves to die for what he did to the Whitetails and what he did to Eli.
We have to finish this one way or another.
Those judges of theirs scare the shit out of me. Have you seen them? The gray fur, the red cross on their head. Fucking freaky looking.
I heard those hunters of Jacob's have special arrows. Got some sort of poison on them. Knocks you out cold.
Glad we have the Whitetail militia around. They're the only ones taking the fight to Jacob.
Gonna hunt him down like the dog he is.
They don't just make judges. They train those fuckers to hunt people down, tear them to shreds.
It's been rough. But now I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
There was some kind of Peggy scientist injecting the wolves with something. Pretty sure that's how Jacob turns them into judges.
Jacob better start running.
Jacob keeps training more men. What are they doing, building an army?
Someone needs to take Jacob down. Hope Country deserves better than this.
Careful. Jacob likes to play mind games with you.
I can't take any more. I just want things to go back to the way they used to be.
This is the time we have to stick together. Get things done.
It's a shame what the Peggies have done here. Used to be a nice place.
I think I'd rather fight than sit around and wait for them to kill me.
There's a special place in hell for people like Jacob.
You working for the Whitetails? Oh, thank heavens for people like you. Would have had my ass handed to me ages ago if it wasn't for you folks.
Don't let them take you. We've already lost Eli. We can't lose another. Please be careful out there.
If you escape the cult, judges track you down in no time.
Didn't know Eli personally, but I know he was a good man with a good heart. We would have been in bigger trouble if it weren't for him. Rest his soul.
Just because Eli is dead, the mission of the Whitetail militia ain't changed.
Even the toughest whitetails have been taken and converted. I don't know what they're doing to them, but whatever it is, it works.
I've been seeing Jacob's cruelty practically every day.
I've seen people in cages out at the lumber mill.
We Whitetails gotta stick together.
Have you seen what they've done with those wolves? Turn them into goddamn monsters.
When this shit's finally over, I'm taking a month-long vacation.
Jacob's gotta be pretty pissed with all the men he's lost.
Jacob's been rounding up more than just people for his damned army.
I'd love to see the look on Jacob's face now that he's lost so many of his fighters.
I can't believe Pratt's still alive. I was sure Jacob would have killed him by now.
Not much scares me anymore, but I'm afraid of Jacob's seed.
Jacob's never gonna give in.
The Whitetails have been taking a lot of losses lately. Too many of us have gone missing.
Yeah, I've had some fishing buddies go missing.
I know he's gone, but I still feel Eli with us. I won't let him down.
If the cult takes you away and the brainwashing doesn't work, they turn you into a live target for the cult's training. Whatever you do, don't let them take you.
People aren't supposed to be kept in cages, and the cult wants to break him by not giving him any food or water. That cult's fucked up.
No one comes out of that damn chair the same.
Now that John's out of the picture, I'm gonna try to make my way down to Holland Valley. Safer there.
The cult's taken up our land to build training camps, to repurpose our facilities. Anyone ever check their paperwork? Took me a permit just to expand my house.
I lost my 2 brothers. Older one became a Peggy and killed my little brother as a sacrifice to join Jacob's army. I've lost so much because of this cult.
I just can't believe any of this.
The cult's taking people by force to the lumber mill. Sometimes it happens in broad daylight, and we're just not enough to stop them.
I know Eli'd want us to move on and keep fighting the good fight, but great leaders are hard to find. Our morale is dipped to a dangerous low.
I actually started thinking Eli was invincible. But we're all human. What a huge loss.
I know what you mean.
When you hear the music, you better run. That shit is how they get you.
It's thanks to Eli that we got an organized crew of good men and women to fight back. Still, so many lives have been lost.
Eli's the only one standing up for us. Without him, we would have been dead already.
These Peggies have got to go.
Somebody has to take Jacob out before it's too late.
We have to kill those judges on sight. I'd like to save them, but there's no other way.
There's no rehab for judges. Only bullets can deal with them.
I hope Eli knows what he's doing. Taking the fight to Jacob? Me, I'd rather not be noticed.
Gotta watch what you say, especially around here.
I've heard of music that changes your life, but Jacob's music really messes with your head.
I can't stand to see what Jacob's done to the people he's captured.
I don't think Jacob can keep this up, not with all the men he's lost.
Jacob's losing his shit, and the reason he's like that is because of you. Whatever you're doing, keep at it.
Those judges aren't gonna save him now.
I knew Jacob was trouble as soon as he showed up. I mean, did you see his face? It's all burned and twisted, like his heart.
You're right on the money there.
Did you know that the cult has more than one bunker? Jacob's built one right here in the Whitetail Mountains.
Hate to say it, but I sure am glad I'm not your buddy Pratt right now. I don't know if I'd be able to take it.
I keep hearing about this Deputy Pratt. He's the one Jacob's holding hostage. Poor bastard doesn't stand a chance.
No one could ever brainwash me into following that Jacob guy.
Real shame about Eli. He was one of the good ones, that's for sure. Have you seen all the guys Jacob's got training up here? Sick fuckers use us for target practice.
I've seen what they do to people they capture. I can't imagine what it was like for your deputy friend.
Whatever you do, don't go out there alone if you can help it. Jacob's hunters will get you for sure.
I don't know how many whitetails we've lost to Jacob's damned hunters. Fucking piggies.
You know what they do with those wolves? Pump them full of chemicals and then train them to hunt people. It's fucking sick.
Someone like Jacob doesn't stop with wolves. He's experimented on other animals.
Pratt's days are numbered. One of these days, Jacob's gonna have him nailed up on some billboard or something, just like the others.
If you ask me, you have to be weak-minded to begin with for Jacob's mindfucks to work on you.
I can't believe Jacob would dare keep a deputy prisoner. Then again, those bastards think they own everything.
It's not just civilians. They've been taking militia, too.
The Peggies can train all they want. There's no way they'll beat a Whitetail in a straight-up fight.
When was the last time you took a shower?
I hear Jacob's built some kind of bunker, supposed to be able to fit 1,000 people or something.
I don't know what these judges are, but I know they don't die easy.
I've looked into the dead eyes of people I was friends with who are now true believers in Jacob's nonsense.
We gotta keep fighting, no matter what.
If Jacob catches you, you're gonna end up in the chair. You can be sure of that.
That damn song. Hear it everywhere.
Can't even look away for a second or the Peggies will snatch it up.
Somebody's gone and ticked Jacob off and now he's out for blood.
Jacob's gonna get what's coming to him, don't you worry. Jacob's been rounding people up, taking them away to God knows where.
More people have to stand up to them. I know they're scared, but we just gotta.
I have to say, I agree with you.
I've seen how they train those judges of theirs. Those things could bring down a moose without even trying.
Once Jacob's got a hold of your mind, it's over. That's scary as hell. Sometimes I lose my mind and, well, just watch out. You hear?
Just lay low. Maybe they won't notice you.
Don't know how much more of this the Whitetails can take.
Cult's moving prisoners around up here. Looks like they're trying to make a goddamn army.
Jacob's taken everything we have.
My dad always said there'd be another war, but I always thought it'd be against China.
Doesn't matter how many Peggies we kill, Jacob's always training more.
You wouldn't believe some of the shit I seen.
I'm so tired of Jacob fucking things up around here.
I'll admit it. I thought we'd have won by now. Soon enough.
Be careful out there. Friends might not be friends anymore after Jacob's done with them.
How's the Whitetail militia gonna move on without a leader? Eli was the reason we even stood a chance out here.
We gotta put an end to all of this.
Jacob's gonna pay for all that he's done to us.
You better believe some of them Peggies are illegal aliens. Snuck in through our porous borders. Makes me sick what's happened to this country. What we need are walls around our entire goddamn border, not just Mexico. I'm talking seawalls, 500 feet high with gun turrets and nuclear-tipped missiles. And even that ain't enough, but it's a goddamn good start.
Withholding food and water from people is like killing them slowly. On top of that, they're locked up in cages. The cult's got 101 ways of killing people.
All them cult cages gotta go. No one should be controlled like that. Calling it a test of will is bullshit.
Yeah, I don't think Jacob's all right in the head.
I thought I could hide from the cult up here in the mountains. Should have stayed in the valley.
News of John Seed's death brightens my day. Makes our uphill battle seem just a little easier.
Eli needs a damn monument, but nothing like those cult effigies. He deserves better than that.
Don't know how Jacob could be such a freak, or anyone for that matter.
There's this bunker called Jacob's Gate. Don't know how conceited he is to name it after himself, but he's generous enough to leave it behind.
Faith was scary, but while she could get into your head, Jacob will break every bone in your body to convert you. He lives for pain.
This is the worst kind of psychological warfare. Don't matter if you're strong of mind in enemy territory. They just throw you to the wolves.
If Pratt's not dead, I don't think he's gonna last much longer.
Once Jacob is taken care of, we have to go save Pratt. That is, if he's still alive.
I've seen a lot more whitetails around. I sure hope that means Eli's got that bastard Jacob on the ropes.
Eli likes you. So you're all right with me?
We're all just food to these judges. I want to know how they can tell the difference between us and the cult when we're all made of flesh and bone.
There's nothing American about living here. Not when Jacob's out there controlling people's minds. We've lost our freedom and we got nowhere to go.
Jacob's caught himself a deputy. I think it's Pratt. Poor bastard, he's not gonna last a day in there.
Eli's been fighting hard, but there's so many of them and so few of us. There's no way he's gonna get Jacob without some help.
Jacob is some kind of lab down in his bunker where he performs experiments. Not just on wolves, on people too.
Even if you find Jacob's bunker, you'll still need to find the key. Then there's the shit ton of fucking fanatics in there all willing to die for their cause.
I've seen Jacob's men out in the woods, putting wolves into cages. They take 'em somewhere to experiment on 'em.
I've seen those judges of theirs, scary-ass things. Once they got your scent, they don't ever give up.
Sure, I've been a hunter all my life, but I never thought I'd have to take a man's life. But the Peggies have forced us into this situation as a matter of survival. Once Pratt's gone through the chair, he's gonna be broken. That's what Jacob does to people.
Don't know how I'm still standing. Judges, cult hunting parties, kidnappings, murders, random gunfire. God's watching out for me.
Eli's the only one around here putting up a fight. I don't think we'd have a chance against the cult without him.
Judges are so savage. Bet you they'd make good guard dogs.
Fantastic news about Faith. I never thought the bliss would be gone from our community.
I keep thinking about Pratt and what Jacob's doing to him. That poor man's brain's gonna be totally fucked.
Hate to think that we're so weak as to be easily broken by Jacob's chair and his trials, but after so much fighting, we're pretty worn out, so...
How does a cult even control their judges? I had trouble training my goddamn dog.
John Seed was nothing but a pissant compared to Jacob. He's one who knows how to hate.
If you could survive Faith's mind warping and soul rot, maybe you can withstand Jacob's brutality. Jacob's lost a lot of men. Now's the best time to catch him off guard.
Sounds pretty good to me.
We'll get him. Don't worry.
He's running out of time.
Enough's enough already.
This is it. We gotta end Jacob now.
Jacob's losing it. Pretty ironic when he's making all his prisoners lose their mind.
I want Jacob's head on a platter.
Whatever Jacob's been stocking up in his bunker, it's gotta be real good stuff. He's not gonna need any of it where he's going.
The cult's leaving people in cages for days. It's beyond me how Peggies can believe they're part of a church. They can all go to hell.
Judges are fucking vicious. I was standing far away, but I saw some wrestle the whitetail like chew toys.
Eden's Gate ain't a real church, and what better proof than Jacob relying on shit tactics to mess with people's minds? God would never violate our freedom.
They say you killed John. That's no mean feat, but I gotta warn you, Jacob's a whole lot meaner than his little brother.
Look, if Jacob takes over your mind and you become a Peggy, I gotta take you out. I respect you and all, but you understand, right? Promise I'll make it quick.
People get taken and turned into Peggies with Jacob's chair or something. All the while, the Whitetail militia ain't getting bigger. I see where this is going.
I've always been a fighter, but it feels like a never-ending war. I sure hope I'm wrong about that.
I'm proud to be a whitetail, but we can't keep this up for long. There aren't enough of us.
With John gone, Jacob will have a harder time building up his army. But he's already got a strong force at the ready.
There are so few of us here. We're all afraid of Jacob and that cult. The only protection we have are the Whitetails. But for how long?
Thanks for taking care of John Seed. But you're dealing with Jacob now, so be on your toes.
It all seems hopeless, but if I don't fight back, What's that make me? Got no choice but to join the resistance and fight for what's right.
Jacob can't be happy about all the men he's lost. The question is, how will he react?
Gotta keep the pressure on. The Peggies aren't gonna go down easy.
Jacob has taken so many from the Whitetail militia, it's hard to keep morale up. Where's Jacob getting all these new recruits? Seems they're coming out of nowhere.
Wonder if it's like this all over the county.
Jacob may think he's got us beat now that he's killed Eli, but he's got another think coming. After the shit Jacob puts them through, I don't blame people for breaking.
I'm gonna miss Eli. He was what was holding us Whitetails together.
I don't know about you, but those wolves scare the crap out of me.
They're not gonna take me alive, I can tell you that. I've seen what they do.
Jacob made a big mistake coming to these mountains.
The Peggies are gonna be sorry they ever messed with us.
All I want is to be left alone. Is that too much to ask?
We Whitetails are gonna have to step up our game if we're gonna rid ourselves of these Peggies.
I don't know what's worse, being imprisoned by the cult or being hunted by the judges.
Jacob's got hunting parties out, tracking people down.
I can't believe how many Whitetails have gone missing.
I hear Jacob locks up anyone he catches, makes them watch horrible things. No one is quite the same after that.
I don't think anyone feels safe. Not anymore.
Starting to think this cult's just a bunch of radicalized jihadis in disguise. Think about it. They're trying to recruit folks and they got a rigid belief system. Shit, we may well be witness to the next step in the evolution of terrorism. Might sound crazy at first, but if you keep thinking about it, keep believing it, it all makes perfect sense.
Eli puts up a brave front, but the Whitetails are hurting.
We won't be safe so long as Jacob's still around.
Wonder how everyone else is doing.
I want to know who killed Eli. I know it's a cult, but I want a name. I want everyone to know so the Whitetails can go after him.
There's so many Peggies out there you can't go 10 feet without running into one of their damn patrols.
Jacob has to die. But he's not the only problem.
Eli's the only one around here standing up for us. Right now it's him and his handful of Whitetails against Jacob's entire army.
How do I know your mind isn't being influenced right now? I guess there's no way to know. This is so messed up.
It's that goddamn music. That's how he gets to you.
If I get caught, I'm gonna fight like crazy. I'd rather be dead than turned into one of those Peggies.
As if Jacob wasn't triggered before. I bet he really is now. He's losing all those soldiers he's brainwashed. Good for us, though.
Don't know how the cult's doing it, but their judges are following their every command. Scariest pets I've ever heard of.
With Faith dead and the bliss gone, Jacob will need a new source for his army. We should hide.
Jacob's got his judges working for him while our folks are dropping dead or getting converted to the other side. There's gotta be a way to turn the tide.
It's too bad about Eli. I always said how much I admired him and what he stood for.
Eli's been a thorn in Jacob's side for years. It was only a matter of time before something like this happened.
Jacob's gone nuts because he lost a lot of his precious, mindless soldiers. I'd say it sucks even more to see our own teammates turned against us.
Jacob's new recruits gotta kill someone they care about just to prove their loyalty. That's messed up on so many levels.
Had to kill some Peggies who used to be my friends. I keep wondering, maybe I could have done things different.
Everyone's sleeping with one eye open, because if you're really asleep, I bet that's when you're most vulnerable to mind control. Life just sucks right now.
Yeah, the deputy might be free, but I won't say he's okay. No one is okay after they've been through the trials. No one.
I really hope the Whitetails can win this, but damn are they struggling. I'm pretty sure I'll just make things worse by joining them.
The Grandview was closed for a long-ass time. All of a sudden, Jacob's using it. People go in and out. There's some weird shit going down.
They took my friends and dragged them to the lumber mill. I just hid myself and watched. I had nothing to defend myself with. I'm such a coward. What have I done?
Heard you put John's seed in the ground, Deputy. The Whitetails got your behind.
Eli's a hell of a leader. Got big respect for him. But the Whitetail militia can't last that long. It's a losing battle.
Eli's been looking for new recruits for his militia. I'd join, but I'm not much for fighting. Jacob is the fiercest of Joseph's heralds. His chosen are far more dangerous than Faith's angels.
Hunting parties are still out there and they're looking for you by name. You must be giving them a hard time. Be careful.
Jacob's trials sound like hell on earth. I don't know how people can become Peggies after that, but we gotta take them out. Send them to the real hell.
Jacob's bunker is hidden somewhere up in these mountains. But you need a special key to even open the door. Place is locked up tighter than Fort Knox.
It's a real shame about that deputy. Jacob doesn't go easy on us whitetails. I can only imagine what he's doing to your friend.
I get so tired of all the fighting. Just glad we have Eli on our side. He's the only one that seems to care what happens to us.
There's so few of us here. We're all afraid of Jacob and that cult. The only protection we have is Eli and his whitetails. But for how long?
Have you seen those hunters? They're not messing around. Once they have you in their sights, that's it.
Never thought Eli could have done it. Held out against Jacob for as long as this. Helps to have Tammy and Weedy on our side.
I can't believe this happened. Especially here.
There hasn't been much good news for the Whitetails in a while. They've got hunters out, tracking people down. They don't kill them. They want them alive, to add to their army. I've seen Jacob's hunters take down more people and send them off to the chair. It's the only way they can fill their ranks these days.
I can't believe that Pratt's still alive, but I can't imagine it'll last much longer. Not if Jacob has anything to say about it.
It's a shame about Deputy Pratt. Even if he survives the chair, he won't be the same by the time they're done with him.
Jacob's been targeting the whitetails in his sweeps. Pretty soon there won't be any of us left.
It's to the point where you can't even trust your neighbors anymore.
Whatever you do, don't get caught. I've seen what they do. The cages they keep you in. It's horrible.
I've heard of Jacob's trials. They're part of his sick game to try and stop Eli.
It's been tough for a lot of the Whitetail to keep their morale up since Eli was killed.
You hear? Jacob's got one of them deputies that tried to arrest the father. He's sure as hell not gonna go easy on him. I could tell you that for free.
Jacob is so fucked up. Who knows what he's been doing with the wolves he's been trapping?
Jacob's one sick fuck. Nailing up bodies, burning people alive. That's just messed up.
Nearly walked right into one of Jacob's hunting parties loading up more wolves in the cages. Bet they're gonna make more of those damn judges.
I'm glad I'm not that Deputy Pratt. He must be going through hell.
Have you heard that weird howling at night? Those aren't wolves. Those are those fucking judges of theirs.
I've had friends of mine put through Jacob's trials. You must be pretty worried about your buddy Pratt.
With all the shit Eden's Gate's been stirring up, it's been hard to get any good fishing in.
Jacob's taking whatever he can find. People, wolves, weapons, it doesn't matter.
Fuck knows what he's up to experimenting on those wolves.
These shitbirds in the north better unfuck themselves right quick. It's starting to make me look bad in the election.
Some cult soldiers become so-called chosen. But how that happens, I don't know.
I look at all the damage Jacob's done and know we've got to keep fighting, no matter what.
Jacob is out to kill each and every one of us.
I've seen those judge wolves firsthand, and they scare the shit out of me.
Pretty sure that fucking cult got my favorite cousin. Haven't heard from him in weeks.
I'm a big believer in Eli, man. He's got that conviction to see us through this shit.
Now's a good time to strike back. Jacob's losing his cool, which means he'll make mistakes, but folks are still shaken by the loss of our leader.
He'll get what's coming. Don't you worry.
The cult needs to get off our land.
Look around. The father has got to answer for all he's done to the land and people here. Whitetails ain't gonna stop now.
Christ almighty, you done yapping yet?
Whitetails are hurting. Wish I could help them. I'm no fighter. I could help with their cooking, maybe.
Someone's recruiting people into their army by force and brainwashing them? I'm ashamed to be American.
That's for sure.
If Jacob can't find a use for you in his army, you become target practice for troops.
Using music to control people is so in bad taste. But Jacob's song pick? That's gotta say something about him.
One of those hunting parties nearly got me. Then the Whitetails swooped in. Thank Christ.
My friend went missing, and I thought I saw him the other day, but he was wearing the cult symbol. Dear God, he's a Peggy now. How did this happen?
They got training camps all over the place, and their army keeps getting bigger. All these decent folk are now our enemy. I don't know if I can do this.
I know they say you killed John Seed, but
I don't know how y'all are gonna deal with Jacob and his hardened chosen.
The cult's judges are a world of trouble. They either kill people, or they pull everyone they find behind enemy lines. It's gotta stop.
Wolves howl. I don't know what kind of sound those judges make, but it ain't natural.
Way I see it, getting captured means turning into a Peggy, being a target at their shooting practice, or becoming wolf chow. There's no win in this. It fucking sucks.
Jacob's been rounding everyone up. Doesn't matter who you are. No one's safe.
That whole army's under some kind of hypnotic trance or mind control. Shit, Jacob could be messing with my head right now and I wouldn't know it.
Eli's just one of those guys who was relentless. He kept moving forward, even though he lost his son and his wife left him. He's in a better place now.
The Whitetail militia's really giving all they got. I hope it's enough.
I hope Jacob gets what's coming to him.
Amen to that.
We gotta take the fight right to Jacob.
There's no way Jacob's gonna go down without a fight.
I'd keep a low profile if I was you. Unless you want to end up in the chair.
He's gonna pay for what he did to my brother.
Heard the Peggies are rounding up wolves, doing fucked up things to them.
This won't stop us. We're stronger than this.
Jacob has a lot to answer for.
The father can't just go around taking everything, can he?
Jacob's gonna be mighty pissed with all the men he's lost.
I've seen people after Jacob's done with them. They don't even recognize me anymore.
This won't stop us. We're stronger than this.
Jacob's got people locked up in cages like animals. I've seen it with my own eyes.
Jacob has got to die, and that's all I got to say.
I pray every day that this'll end.
We can't afford to lose any more militia to those goddamn Peggies.
I hope Eli has a backup plan, because I'm not sure this one is working.
I want Jacob to pay for what he's done.
Hells yeah, Deputy. We're bringing the fight now.
No one is immune. I've seen cages, people starving. It's real persuasive.
Fucking cult's taking so many of my friends.
Eden's Gate's just another cult. They ain't the first and they won't be the last. If you see a Peggy, shoot first, because you won't get a second chance.
The Whitetails have been hit pretty hard. Not sure we can take much more of this.
Found a body in the woods, couldn't tell who it was anymore.
Jacob's got a way of stripping everything from people and then rebuilding them for his army. They end up doing shit they've never done before. It's fucking scary.
The moment Jacob showed up in the Whitetail Mountains, I knew he was trouble. Started rounding up wolves. Now we know why.
Peggies leave their captives in cages. This all makes me think of slavery, of treating people as if they were less than human. How did we go back in time to this?
Things look bad down in Holland Valley, what with John's reaping. But I heard you took care of it all. Thank you.
Can't wrap my head around how these same judges used to be regular wolves. How can scopolamine do this to them? Makes me so angry.
Don't know what that chair technique is, but Jacob's using it and it's freaking people out. Hope I never sit in it.
I can feel the tension in the Whitetail troops. Everyone's wondering what's gonna happen.
Jacob's the devil incarnate. I'm convinced of it. He whispers thoughts of evil, and he does it through music. I sure hope good'll prevail somehow.
Jacob's got a whole process. Catch the wolves, inject them with that fucking bliss, then train them to hunt us down. Pretty fucked up shit if you ask me.
Us Whitetails are still fighting back, but there might not be much left in the tank. The struggle's real. No, I mean it.
We've been losing whitetails practically every day now. Eli's got to do something, or pretty soon there won't be any of us left to save.
I keep hearing about this Deputy Pratt that Jacob's caught. I can't believe he's kept that poor bastard alive this long. Doubt he's gonna last much longer, tell you the truth.
Jacob's rounded up the wolves to turn them into judges. They're getting drugged up and transformed into these monsters. I got no guilt putting them down.
I saw one of the judge wolves run right through a campfire and keep going. Fucker didn't even care it was on fire.
If I had to choose between sitting in the chair or getting eaten alive by judges, I don't know. That's tough. If I can't cheat death, just make it quick.
I'm almost jealous of Jacob's bunker. That place is fucking huge, with enough supplies to last them for years. I got a serious phobia of cages. No way I'm getting anywhere close to them cult cages.
Once Jacob messes with your head, there's no coming back.
Good to hear you wiped out John, Deputy. The world needs to be rid of these seeds.
I'm sending Deputy Pratt my thoughts and prayers.
Hey, Deputy Pratt's gonna be okay. Don't give up on him.
Welcome to the Whitetail Mountains, where you surrender your mind to Jacob and kill everyone. How's that for a tourism slogan?
I know we lost Eli, but at least we got Deputy Pratt back safely. Thank God for small mercies.
It's not just people they're taking. It's the wolves, too. They're doing something to them. I know it.
Be careful out there. There's piggy patrols all over the place.
Eden's Gate's got training camps all over the place, building an army for God knows what. This ain't the America I know.
When Jacob loses his temper, he takes it out on his prisoners. That Deputy Pratt better watch it.
The Peggies are torturing and killing people out here. It's like a goddamn sport to them.
You have to take the fight to Jacob. There's no other way.
I saw one of my neighbors the other night. He was nailed to a billboard and left to die.
All I want to do is live my life. Is that too much to ask?
To be honest, everyone's scared.
Eli's worried. He doesn't say it, but I can tell.
Jacob calls his best soldiers the Chosen. Watch out for those boys. They're not hooked up right.
It doesn't matter what we used to do for a living. We're all soldiers in the Whitetail militia now.
Jacob's losing his shit. Damn sure that makes him 100 times more dangerous. Guy's unstable. This is our best chance to take Jacob down.
Gotta love those whitetails. Eli put together one hell of a little army.
Eli's one of the best people I know. He's given up pretty much everything trying to help us out here.
We gotta cut the head off the Jacob snake.
We have to keep fighting. It's what Eli would have wanted.
Goddamn cult. I blame Obama. Him and his PC horse shit got us into this mess. This is what happens when libtard snowflakes do whatever they want and we just accept it. Once I get elected, that all ends. No more women in the military. No more marijuana. No more immigrants. No more chicks with dicks. No more abortion. No more free health care. My platform is all about freedom.
I saw this movie where the soldier went out of whack the moment a specific string of words were spoken to him. Jacob's doing the same thing, only with music.
Jacob's been snatching anyone who dares to get in his way.
Things just can't get any more fucked than this.
I've had enough of Jacob's bullshit. We gotta make a stand.
I'm not even sure what's real anymore.
It's about time Jacob got what's coming to him.
I am so tired of this war with Jacob. I just want it over.
We have to take Jacob out, now, before he has a chance to recover.
Wonder if we'll be famous when this shit's all over. We should be for all we've done.
Have you seen what Jacob's done to those wolves? He calls them his judges. Lord knows you don't want them judging you.
We should have run the Peggies out when they first came here, when we had the chance.
Jacob's a madman, don't ever forget that. He'd just as soon shoot you as look at you.
The Peggies keep training new recruits. Hell, half of them were whitetails to start with. Not anymore. People, wolves, those Peggies will take pretty much anything and twist it to their will.
I know. Stop reminding me.
Well, it's all pretty fucked up.
You've gone through hell. We all have. But the job ain't done till Jacob's gone. We gotta make things right.
If anyone ever develops some sort of helmet that can block people from controlling my mind, I'd be the first to buy one.
If I had to stay in a cage without food or water, think I'd just ask those Peggies to kill me. I ain't suffering for no cult.
There's gotta be a way to put down those judges. They're out of control and hurting people. All dogs go to heaven anyway.
I can't believe you defeated Faith. Do you think you can actually take out Jacob? I don't know.
Heard the Grandview was a hotel way back in the day. Don't look like much anymore. And Jacob's been seen there. Means shit's going down.
I might not live long enough to see the Whitetail Mountains free of the cult, but we gotta keep at it. Freedom's worth fighting for.
There was a time when we didn't have to worry about things like that.
John Seed's dead? I might do a little dance.
Known a shitload of folks who got taken. Beats me how I'm still alive and well. Got you and the Whitetails to thank.
The more I hear about this chair, the more I want to destroy it. But I can't get inside the Grandview on my own.
We gotta put Jacob back in his place, and that's 6 feet under. Can't mess with people's minds when he's there.
I wasn't born into this world to become a live target for shooting practice. I swear the cult's not gonna get away with this.
I was a whitetail before the whole Jacob thing. Used to come out, drink some beer, shoot things. Little did we know we'd need those skills. The shooting, not the drinking.
You gotta respect Eli. He took a bunch of drunken misfits and turned them into an elite fighting force.
Jacob's been rounding up everyone he can find. Puts him in that damn chair of his. Turns him into one of them.
Jacob's been putting people in cages, keeping them there with no food or water for weeks. Almost better if they just killed you.
I'm sure Eli's got a plan, but those Peggies have done a number on us. We can't keep going like this.
I've seen him up close once, and I'll tell you, Jacob sees one scary motherfucker.
I just don't know how the Whitetails will keep it together without Eli.
I try not to think about what might happen if I'm taken by the Peggies.
What are we supposed to do now that Eli's gone? Who's gonna step up? I mean, you won't see me rallying a crowd. Public speaking makes me throw up.
Wasn't gonna join the Whitetails. But then Jacob took my brother. Promised myself I'd never let that bastard take another innocent person, not if I could help it.
There's this chair treatment that Jacob makes his prisoners go through. It's all happening at the Grandview. Don't get taken there.
No cult fucker's gonna convert me.
I've even seen former militia working for the cult.
Jacob seeing red because he lost a lot of men? He's not even human. What does he care? Please make him pay for every crime he's done.
If Jacob thinks so highly of sacrifice, I'd be glad to give him a taste of it.
Jacob has hunters all over the place, looking for people to add to his army. One shot from their poison arrows and you're down.
Everyone loves Clutch Nixon. He helped put Hope County on the map. His stunts brought in a lot of tourism.
I feel real sorry for that Deputy Pratt. He must be going through hell right now.
Brainwashing, indoctrination, whatever you want to call it, that's what Jacob does. I'd stay as far away from him as possible.
We gotta soldier on until all the cult are gone. It's what Eli would have wanted.
We'll show those Peggies who's boss.
Somebody needs to shove Jacob down a long flight of stairs.
I just want to see Jacob pay for what he's done.
I've had just about enough of his shit.
The ranks of the Whitetails have never looked so thin. We've lost so many good people.
Them judge wolves are plucked from my worst damn nightmares.
There's no hope for the Whitetail militia unless we can kill Jacob.
Haven't heard many wolves these days. Looks like Jacob's men have been rounding him up.
After Jacob's done with you, you won't even remember your own name.
Jacob's not a man to be trifled with.
I wish things were different.
It's bad enough we have to hide from the judges, but if you're shot by one of Jacob's hunters, it's all over.
Jacob scares the heck out of me.
Eli won't say it, but I know he's worried. We've lost a lot of good people.
The Peggies have had their way for too long. It's time to show them who's really in control.
Sacrifice shit. I will sacrifice any Peggy that crosses my path.
Someone has to stop Jacob. Have you seen what they're doing with those wolves they capture? They turn them into freaking monsters.
Your friend Pratt is strong. He'll get through this. I'm sure of it.
You know what? I think Jacob's scared of Eli. That's why he's tried so hard to get him.
If it wasn't for the Whitetail militia, I don't know if I'd still be alive. They're a real godsend.
Tell it like it is, my friend.
I don't care what you think of wolves. They don't deserve whatever Jacob's doing to them.
Jacob's been rounding up all the wolves and making them more aggressive somehow.
Jacob calls those wolves of his judges. 'Cause that's what they do. If you're not worthy, they tear you to shreds.
If Jacob's hunters catch you, you'll end up in that fucking chair of his. Then he'll scramble your mind, make you into a fucking zealot.
Jacob thinks he can run people through his little maze. Now it's his turn.
If there's one person we can count on, it's Eli. He'll never give up.
I don't know what's worse, being hunted by Peggies or by those freaking judges.
I don't know where Jacob's bunker is. I'm not sure anybody does. But it's out there somewhere.
I've heard some people say Eli's not cut out to lead a military operation like this. Well, I don't see anybody else taking on Jacob and his fucking cult.
Man, I would love to get my hands on the father. Make him pay for all he's done.
Jacob's a fucking psycho. He doesn't just capture you. He scrambles your brains. Next thing you know, you're shooting your friends yelling, "Cull the herd," or some shit like that.
Seen a lot of movies, and if this chair is like the one in Clockwork Orange, well, that's super fucked up, man.
If there's a way we can compromise those training camps, it'd be a huge hit to the cult. I wonder what Eli thinks of this.
Heard Eli died, but I don't know who killed him. I so want a piece of them. But I gotta think of the bigger picture. Our enemy has always been Jacob.
I heard that Eli helped the father build his bunkers. That's when he figured out just how crazy the cult was and said, "Fuck this."
Jacob's got hunting parties out, so make sure you watch yourself.
Jacob's got all these training camps around. I'd say that's a misnomer, because really, they're brainwashing camps. Every one of them.
Jacob is really starting to get on my nerves.
I don't want Jacob to catch me. I've seen what he turns you into.
Keep your eyes peeled. They could be anywhere.
I'm sick and tired of how these Peggies treat people. We're Americans, goddammit. We've got rights.
It's sick what Jacob does to people. Just sick.
We'll show them. They can't scare us off.
If they think they got us beat, they got another thing coming.
Yeah, Jacob's days are numbered.
I think we're all on our own out here.
It doesn't matter Eli's gone. We have to keep fighting. We can't give up.
We're losing a lot of good people to that cult. Jacob's turning them all into brainless soldiers. How are we supposed to fight our former comrades?
Joseph's so-called heralds represent mind, body, and soul, a tri-stat of horror. Faith's end has freed our souls.
Jacob will be pissed that you and the Cougars freed the Henbane River. He'll need a new source of soldiers.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Whatever experiments they're doing on those wolves, it's fucking unnatural.
Yeah, I've been wondering where all the wolves are disappearing to.
Jacob's got his men crawling all through the mountains.
No one is immune to Jacob's fucked up conversion. Once they hit you with that, you ain't ever the same.
Yeah, Eli's dead, but we can't think about that now. We have a job to do.
Don't think I can take much more of this.
I wonder if any of those people in the cages can still be saved.
Jacob keeps talking about sacrifice. Jesus, haven't we sacrificed enough?
Eli's a brave soul, but he left this world way too early. We need him more than ever. His death won't be in vain.
Whitetails are the only decent people I've met here.
They've trained those goddamn judge wolves to hunt down people.
I've seen what they do to people. Good people. It's not right.
We're all prisoners here. Either we end up in Jacob's army, get killed by him, or we keep hiding. That's no way to live. Just terrible ways to die.
Jacob's in charge here now. If he wants you, he's gonna get you.
I've seen a lot of strange things, but nothing like Joseph and his kin.
Eli's gone and people are sad, angry, lost. I get it, but that's what Jacob wants. That's how he's messing with us.
If it weren't for Eli, we'd all be screwed. Hope there's someone who can fill his shoes. No small feat.
I've never seen Tammy or Wheaty so angry. I've no idea what went down, but I got this feeling you'll make things right. Watch yourself out there.
John Seed is dead? Truly? Best damn news I've heard of late. Now we gotta set our sights on Jacob.
He's running out of time.
I hope to hell someone helps that poor deputy. Who knows how much longer he's gonna last.
Wish we could bring Eli back, but that just ain't possible. Maybe there's someone who can take on the mantle of leader of the Whitetails.
Eli has caches hidden all around these mountains. If you ever need anything, feel free to take it. We're all on the same side after all.
I heard Jacob's got himself a deputy to put in his chair. Wonder how long he's gonna last.
I've seen friends, good friends, turn on their ideals and throw in with Jacob. It's not normal. He's doing something to their minds.
Sometimes I think Jacob just wants to watch the world burn and know that he had a hand in it.
If I wasn't worried about Jacob before, I sure as fuck am now. Men like him who take the lives of others, they don't deserve to live.
That Eli. He's a sneaky sumbitch, I'll give him that.
I keep seeing Peggies rounding people up and taking them away. God knows what they do with them. I hear that deputy that Jacob caught is still alive. Poor bastard. I sure wouldn't want to be in his shoes right now.
The cult's got hunters out, looking for new recruits. Don't let them catch you, whatever you do.
The Whitetails lost their leader. We still stand a chance against Jacob, right? I mean, they gotta know what they're doing.
So many folks have died because of this cult. Others have lost their free will. What kind of church does that? Jesus wouldn't be cool with that shit.
Used to think Eli should have left well enough alone. Then Jacob came and burned down my house. Now I won't rest until these mountains are free from those damn Peggies. Gotta feel bad for your buddy Pratt there. When Jacob messes with your head, you don't know who you are anymore. Chances are the next time you meet him, he'll be a drooling mess.
I hope I never become numb to the nausea of taking a life. I feel for you, Deputy.
I had the idea of infiltrating one of their training camps to see what's really going on and maybe get an edge, but I won't even know if I'm brainwashed myself.
Jacob doesn't think of us or his soldiers as humans. He thinks we're all pawns in the grand scheme of things. Jacob's gonna lose because he's an idiot.
Eli's the one with all the plans. He's gonna save us from these lunatics.
Gotta feel pretty good saving Pratt like that. We've lost too many already. It's nice to hear some good news for a change. I can't believe how many whitetails we've lost to the damn Peggies.
Wish I got out when I had the chance.
I know you're worried about your deputy friend Pratt. I would be too. Jacob could be holding him anywhere, doing who knows what. Oh shit, I'm sorry. I'm not helping matters any.
Whatever you do, don't listen to the music. That's how Jacob gets you.
Word of advice, stay clear of the lumber mill.
So they got Deputy Pratt, too. Fuck. I hate to say it, but it would almost be better if he didn't survive those trials I keep hearing about. More merciful that way.
Have to say, Eli's doing the best he can considering the circumstances.
If these Peggies think they can take whatever they want, they got another thing coming.
You won't catch me getting close to those judges. Kill 'em from a distance, I say.
It's hard to take it when you see someone you've known for years suddenly change into a full-blown Peggy.
Jacob's been recruiting big time. He's nearly got an army now.
Someone's cranked Jacob's crazy up to 11.
The Whitetail militia's gonna love you if half the stories about what you did in Holland Valley are true.
Peggy's released some kind of animal out there in the woods that's been ripping people to shreds.
Judges only got one purpose, and that's to kill.
Eli has my full support, so long as I don't have to use a gun, 'cause I shouldn't be trusted with one. I'm pretty clumsy.
You hear that? I'm not hearing any music that Jacob's trying to use on us, right? Guess my mind's still my own then. You never know.
The cult would be just too darn happy to take you out. Don't let him get in your head. You're better than that.
Keep hearing about this chair that breaks people down. Pains me to think that maybe my brother went through that.
Eli's people are fighting back. They're the only ones who'll stand up to Jacob.
I'm too afraid to count how many people have become Peggies ever since Jacob came here. You can't let him control you.
I ain't ever backing down to them freaks. They're gonna have to shoot me dead first.
A lot of good men and women have crossed into enemy camp without wanting to, getting turned into Peggies to supply Jacob's army. This wasn't supposed to happen.
If Jacob thinks he can keep taking whitetails and turning them cult, he's got another thing coming.
Hey, nowhere safe. What if you go mad all of a sudden because Jacob's controlling your mind and I'm near you, like now? Sorry, I'm just paranoid. Stressed out of my mind.
Those brainwashing techniques that Jacob uses are more than brutal. They're inhuman.
Ain't seen many fishermen out these days.
We're in a war zone now. Best keep your head down if you don't want it shot off.
The cult's using prisoners as live targets to train their army. And their judges. Makes me sick to my stomach.
Jacob's got hunting parties out, capturing anyone they can get their hands on.
Jacob thinks he's angry for losing his men. I lost my friends to the cult. One of them even tried to kill me, as if to prove something. I'll show him angry.
I doubt Jacob's got many men left. He must be pissing his pants.
The cult calls it live target shooting. I call it mass murder. Jacob's gonna pay in blood.
It's not the Peggies' fault when their minds aren't even their own, but they're responsible for all those deaths. Unforgivable. They'll get no mercy from me.
Uh-huh. And when this is all over, I'm definitely gonna need intensive trauma therapy.
Have you heard of the Chosen? Handpicked by the Father. They're the most devoted followers of the cult and are guaranteed a spot in the bunkers.
We have our own bunkers, but nothing like the one Jacob built. That thing's fucking enormous.
I shouldn't be listening to music anymore. What if that one song plays that makes the Peggies go wild? I'd be painting myself a target.
Don't know where we'd be without Eli and the Whitetails. They're the last bit of hope we got left to stop Jacob and that cult.
No place is safe, but the Wolf's Den gives you a good chance at living.
Don't let Jacob mess with your mind. He'll strip away everything that makes you, you. Unless my warning's already too late.
We're low in numbers and the Peggies just keep getting stronger. We need a miracle to win this.
Jacob's turning people into Peggies with that chair of his. I know I wouldn't turn into a Peggy just by sitting in some chair. There's gotta be more to it.
You gotta keep an eye out for the cult's hunters. They stalk these woods, looking for fresh meat to send to the chair.
It's time to take these mountains back. For Eli.
Hope to God that deputy friend of yours, Pratt, is it? Hope he's gonna be okay.
My fiancé was attacked by one of those judges. We shot it, but it just kept coming. Damn near tore his leg off.
Have you seen any of Jacob's hunters? They're the ones with the poisoned arrows. Knocks you out in a single shot.
As soon as Jacob showed up, I asked Eli to join his Whitetails. With all these zealots around, it's nice to know there's someone watching your back.
Eli's a good man, leading a good group of fighters.
I don't know how Eli did it. Took anyone who would stand up against Jacob and turned them into an underground army.
I keep hearing about that poor Deputy Pratt. I hope to hell he's still alive.
Jacob knows how to get in your skull and twist the knobs.
If we all don't fight together, Jacob's gonna finish us off one by one.
Things have gone from bad to worse.
Yeah, I can almost understand why people follow Jacob. He knows what he's doing, that's for sure. Mind you, he's also a fucking psychopath. Kind of a deal breaker for me.
They're obviously insane.
Whitetail militia's taking a real beating. It's not easy out here.
I'll be glad when this is all over. I mean, the father, Eden's Gate, all of it.
These are scary times, that's for sure.
We gotta keep fighting, even though Eli's gone. He didn't die just so we'd forget our purpose here.
We need to put an end to Jacob and his unethical experiments.
Careful. Jacob's been hunting down those that stand in his way.
They got scientists working on all kinds of unnatural shit up there.
You know why they're called judges? They use them to pick which of them become chosen.
They're injecting those wolves with something. Whatever it is, it makes them fucking impossible to kill.
Those Peggies are fucking crazy. They put together a goddamn army up there.
You don't have to convince me. I already want Jacob dead.
I'd love to hear Jacob going out of his mind for a change, now that he's lost so many of his followers.
The second they open the roads, I'm out of here.
I don't know what they do during conversion, but I know it's some brutal shit.
We've lost a lot of good people to Jacob and his fucking Peggies.
If Jacob talks about sacrifice one more time, I swear to God I'm gonna...
No more sacrifices! No more!
Our only way out of this mess is to kill Jacob.
I was talking to Eli the other day, and he told me morale's damn good.
What the hell does the father need an army for anyways?
Once they take you to the Grandview, it's not you anymore. They make you into somebody else. A Peggy.
Did you hear Jacob nab one of those deputies? It's getting so that no one is safe anymore.
You never know what those goddamn Peggies are gonna pull next.
Not sure Jacob will ever let that Deputy Pratt go. Once he's got you forever.
Eli's saving people and defending this place the best he can. Poor guy. Lot of weight on his shoulders.
New recruits for the cult are coming in from all over the place.
I've seen what they do to those that resist. They tie them to a post and leave them to die.
I can't believe what's been happening.
Jacob is the toughest and orneriest of the seeds. He'll be pissed when he learns what you did to John.
My brother was taken and turned into a Peggy. I was told he also died as one. That broke me. At least I can bury him as my brother now. Thank you for giving me that.
I hear the Whitetail's got a new leader. Whoever it is has got some big boots to fill.
It's gonna be hard without Eli, but we gotta keep soldiering on.
I don't think anyone can replace Eli. He really was one of a kind.
I want Jacob to suffer for all that he's done.
I was on Bliss once. Stuff of nightmares. So glad he cleaned it up. Amen.
I'm worried that if Jacob captures me, I won't be able to resist the chair. I won't be me anymore.
I knew I should have invested in a pair of noise-canceling headphones. I don't want to hear shit that's gonna screw with my mind.
It's been real bad around here lately. Eli and his guys are trying to stop it, but I don't know how well they're doing.
Captives who can't be broken end up as live targets for the cult to practice their shooting on. That's mass execution, and to think we're in America makes me sick.
Jacob's caught one of the deputies that tried to arrest his brother. Bet he's gonna make him run his trials. I know Eli's doing his best, but I don't know if it's gonna be enough.
I hope Deputy Pratt's okay. No one deserves what he's going through.
Once Jacob's through with him, I don't know if Pratt will ever recover.
Eli really is something. He took a ragtag bunch of weekend warriors and whipped them into a bona fide militia. Pretty amazing if you ask me.
You gotta be strong to be a whitetail. Not so much physically. No, you gotta be strong in the mind. That's where Jacob gets you. In the mind.
I can't believe Jacob's got your friend Pratt. I can only imagine what he's going through right now. It's horrible what that man does to people.
At least the Whitetail militia are still holding their own. So long as Eli's still fighting the good fight, we've still got a chance. God bless him.
Jacob's pissed. That's new. He's always been the crazy type, but I'm afraid of what he'll come up with next. Stay sharp.
Honestly, we need all the help we can get. Eli's doing the best he can, but Jacob keeps taking whitetails each day. We're bleeding bodies out there.
Not sure the Whitetails can survive much more of this. Jacob is merciless.
Thank Christ for the Whitetail militia. They're doing a hell of a job out there, especially Weedy. That boy don't get enough credit.
I heard that Eli's dead, so who's going to take on Jacob now?
With so many of his army dead, Jacob must be furious. Have you seen what they do to the whitetails they catch? Put them in cages, leave them there for weeks. It's inhuman.
I pity anyone who ends up going through Jacob's trials. Good people are turning into Peggies against their will. It ain't right. It ain't fair.
They're using their judges to fight us. That just tells me the cult's too chicken to fight themselves. Or maybe that's smart.
I knew music was powerful, but not to the point of controlling people. Does that mean we're all weak-minded to begin with? No, I won't fall for that.
Bless Eli and his people. They're the only ones that give a good goddamn about us regular folk out here.
Eli's not one to fool around. If he needs you to do something, you do it. No question.
Lumbermill's got trouble written all over it. Jacob's taken folks to that place.
Faith may have been a monster, but I worry Jacob is even more heartless and cruel. He'll hurt and torture you to back and beyond.
Jacob's still got that deputy locked up somewhere. Hope to God he's still alive.
I've heard of Jacob's bunker. There's some special key that you need to get in.
Eli's got to be more aggressive. We got to fight Jacob tooth and nail.
The Whitetails have got to be fired up about the news from Henbane, about how you and the Cougars took out Faith.
Jacob took one of the deputies that tried to arrest the father. Pratt, was it? Yeah, that's who it was.
I can't imagine what Deputy Pratt's going through. I hope he's gonna be okay.
I'm not gonna sit in that chair, and I'm not going through those trials. They won't catch me. I didn't join this fight just so Jacob can break me down.
I want to beat that cult to the ground, but we've been at it for so long. I don't know how we can win this.
Man, I wish I'd been there to help take John Seed down. Hope you can back us.
Take normal wolves, inject them with the bliss. Now you have your own personal killing machine, called a judge.
I've seen the videos Jacob sends out. Poor bastards. They're being forced to say those things.
What are these cult trials? Are they like tests? I'm curious. Behavioral stuff is fascinating, but Jacob doesn't even get people's consent for these things.
Stay out of sight of that army. They don't let anyone escape. I mean, they've got those goddamn judges hunting people down.
Eli helped to build one of the cult's bunkers back when we didn't know their intentions. It wasn't his fault. Hope he didn't carry that guilt with him to the grave.
Jacob's got this chair. He straps people in and breaks them down until their souls are gone. Then he controls their mind. Don't end up in that chair.
Jacob's building up a nasty army. I knew it all along, but nobody believed me. Except Eli.
Ain't nowhere to hide. Those judges smell fear from miles away. We're dead in the water.
Joseph thinks he's saving souls, but does anyone know how many souls were lost because Jacob's raising his army? What kind of church allows that?
Have you seen these judges they use to hunt down people? They're gray wolves with a red cross on their head. That shit is scary.
Wish I knew how Jacob's been able to make these wolves so vicious.
If it wasn't for Eli, I wouldn't have any family at all. It's thanks to him we've survived this long.
Jacob scares the shit out of me. It's not dying that I worry about. It's turning into one of those damn cultists.
Eli tried to warn us, but who would believe this could happen here, in America? I don't think enough people appreciate Eli for who he is. They think he's just some wacko prepper, but he's the only one round here standing up to Jacob and his kind.
My brother is with the Whitetail militia. He looks so damn tired. Eli's got him out on mission day and night. Every time he goes out, I pray he comes back alive.
Every time I hear a howl, it makes me break into a cold sweat, thanks to the judges.
I'm glad Deputy Pratt is safe. I can't imagine what he's going through right now. It's gotta be hell.
Good news about Pratt. After Jacob got him, I was sure he was gone for good. Glad you never gave up on him.
Damn Peggies have been taking pretty much everything. Nowhere's safe anymore.
Don't know what those hunters coat their arrows with, but fuck me, it's effective. Knocks you out in no time flat.
As soon as this fighting is over, we'll have to trade in our guns for hammers and saws to rebuild this place.
I was thinking the same thing.
It's hard fighting familiar faces, but they're not the same. Jacob's changed them somehow.
If one of Jacob's wolves gets you, you're pretty much done for.
Only good judge is a dead one.
Every time I check in at the wolf's den, someone else has gone missing. They're fucking bleeding us dry.
Someone better take care of Jacob, and quick.
At least the Whitetail militia are still holding their own. As long as they're fighting, we've still got a chance. Sort of. God bless them.
That Jacob just needs to fish. Live a little.
Jesus H. Christ, the sound of your voice makes me want to put a gun to my head.
We lost Eli, sure, but we haven't lost hope. Not yet.
Don't get me wrong. I take this cult shit serious. But I got faith in our people.
I'm an old man. I got nothing to lose. But the youths lose a lot if I die.
Did Jacob mess with your mind? I wouldn't blame you if he did. How do we even defend ourselves against this kind of enemy? We weren't trained for this.
Eli Palmer's got some sort of militia he's put together. Call themselves the Whitetails.
Don't feel bad about killing cultists. They ain't human anymore.
God, I hate Jacob and all that he stands for.
Not too loud. They could hear you.
There are some roads you just don't go on anymore. They're just not safe.
Jacob's tossing people in cages and starving them. Where's the human rights group or something? We need help out here. Well, they say Jacob is a monster, but Faith is the one that scared me. Your body can always heal, but if she ripped out your soul, glad to hear she's done for. Indoctrination, they call it? It's like those Peggies don't even realize they're forced labor. You know what? I kind of feel sad for them.
Jacob's going after every human he can because his army's getting small. We're all targets here.
I love animals, and what the cult's doing to those wolves is scary as hell. It's inhumane. Nothing natural about it.
I think wolves only hunt when they need to. Maybe that's why Jacob decided to transform them into judges, so they'd hunt on command. That bastard.
Yeah, well, opinions are like assholes. Only a few of them make my pecker stiff.
Don't let Jacob mess with your head. We're stronger than that.
Jacob takes people to the lumber mill and does God knows what to them. Can't help but think I'll be next.
A friend of mine was hunted down by one of those judges. He didn't make it. Just look after yourself.
Jacob's still converting people into Peggies with that chair and those trials of his. If we don't stop it somehow, we'll get wiped out or turned into Peggies too.
I don't know much about this chair thing, but it's awful. You're strapped in and your mind gets flooded with shit. That's how they're turning folks into Peggies.
My Meemaw was murdered by Faith's fucking angels. I'm glad Faith's dead.
Eli knew he was putting his life on the line, but that's such a huge loss. Do all fighters want a glorious death? I can't wrap my head around that.
Jacob's still turning decent folk into Peggies with those trials of his. It's like I'm on a wait list I never asked to be on.
I don't want to end up in a cage. I'm not a goddamn animal. This is America.
They're literally throwing people to the wolves so their judges can practice with live targets. What happened to our country?
So if the cult shoves you in that cage, what happens when you gotta do your business? Do you just go in your drawers? That's worse than jail.
I'd sure hate to be that Deputy Pratt right now. Jacob's gonna rip him to pieces. He tried to arrest his brother, for God's sake.
Between John, Faith, and Jacob, I'd say our mind control freak is the worst. He makes people kill their own family. His own mind's twisted. He's a damn maniac.
Jacob kidnaps people, breaks them down, and turns them into Peggies. They die for his cause, then he replaces the dead with new Peggies. It's a vicious circle.
Jacob's one evil fuck. See all those people strung up everywhere? That's his doing.
The Whitetail militia is quite the little army. What we lack in numbers, we make up for with dedication. Like Tammy, Weedy. I don't know where we'd be without them.
Gotta be that scopolamine that's made the wolves this nasty. If we know that, we could develop an antidote, right? Not that I have the money to fund a lab.
It's criminal what Jacob has done to the wolves.
Eli's trying real hard and it shows. But sometimes I get this feeling like I'm so close to giving up. But I won't. I can't. People are counting on me.
Jacob's armory is where he tortures his prisoners, those that really piss him off. You'll need a special key to get in.
Nothing more chilling than encountering an old militia comrade working for the cult.
I've seen those strange wolves of Jacob's prowling the forest. I think they call them judges or something like that.
Anybody would be pissed to lose that many soldiers under their command. We should organize a hit on Jacob while his guard's down.
Jacob's lost a lot of judges. He's not the type who will stand for that.
We're in for it now. Jacob's done fooling around.
Hate to be Eli right now. He's in a tough spot, but it's thanks to him that we're still alive.
Have you heard of these trials Jacob is forcing people to go through? What kind of sick mind comes up with these things?
Honestly, Jacob scares the shit out of me, even more than the father. I've seen Jacob up close. I've looked him in the eyes. They're empty. Not a single shred of humanity anywhere.
You can say that again.
That Deputy Pratt of yours must be pretty tough to have survived the chair.
Sure hope Eli and his whitetails can win this, but damn, they sure are struggling. Don't know if I'd be much use, but I've got to do something.
Freeing Holland Valley is good news. I hope you and the Whitetail militia can do the same here.
My cousin was used for live target practice. There's no way for me to even give her a proper burial. Please, you gotta put an end to this.
I've seen trucks full of people they've captured. I hate to think what they're doing with them.
Eli's stretched too thin. We can't keep losing people to Jacob like this.
Even though Eli's gone, the Whitetails will carry on. We're not gonna let Jacob win.
We can't give up. Not now.
I'm gonna try and lay low till all the shooting stops.
I can't imagine the level of brainwashing needed to get good people to do what the Peggies are doing.
We try to run, but there's nowhere to run to. Jacob's got the whole place on lockdown.
My kind were forced on faith's pilgrimage. I don't know if they died or became angels. Not that there's much difference.
If Jacob's going crazy, that means the Whitetails are doing something right. That you're doing something right. Good on you.
Apparently Jacob's got some kind of bunker hidden in these mountains. Each of the seeds have one. All for this collapse bullshit.
If Jacob gets his way, we're all dead.
John was always the runt of the Seed family. I'm not surprised that you were able to get him. But I don't know if you could handle his big brother Jacob.
Lost another patrol to those judge wolves that Jacob created. We can't let up. Ain't gonna last if he's churning those monsters out.
I'll keep fighting back till my last breath. But damn, this is tough. I got no idea if we're even making progress.
We just gotta keep growing in numbers. We'll win this.
I'm damn sure those fucked up wolves got something to do with the scopolamine. No one has ever seen or heard about these judges but here.
I don't understand all this cruelty. It's just pure evil.
I'm sure Pratt's pretty messed up right now, but he's strong. He'll get through this.
To tell you the truth, I don't know if I'd even be here if it wasn't for Eli. That man saved more people than I can count.
I believe in sacrifices too, but Jacob takes it too far.
I've seen lots of supplies moving up this way. Probably stockpiling that damn bunker of theirs.
Jacob might think he's made them believers, but they're just brainwashed zombies if you ask me.
With Faith dead, Jacob is probably going to crack down harder. We need to be prepared for his forces.
I'll never forget the first time I came face to face with one of the judges. It was straight out of a nightmare.
How long have they had your deputy friend now? I'm amazed he's still alive, honestly. Jacob doesn't go easy on us Whitetails. No reason to think it's any different with cops.
I've seen a lot more judges lately. Jacob must be cranking them out like an assembly line.
The odds are against us, but I still believe in Eli and the Whitetails. Can't believe Eli is dead.
What'll happen to the Whitetails without him?
With Eli gone, the Whitetails gotta have one damn goal. Kill Jacob.
Jacob's got his bunker somewhere up here. I heard each of the seeds have one, stocked to the rafters to prepare for the collapse.
Jacob hates us Whitetails. Trust me, you don't want him getting you alive. That's why if I'm going down fighting.
It makes me sick to see former Whitetails converted into that damn cult.
Once you're in the cult, there's no way to get out, even if you want to.
Don't turn your back on those judges of his. They'll tear you to pieces.
I heard Pratt's still alive. I didn't think he'd last this long, honestly.
Jacob must be getting desperate and crazy. More troops out here than ever.
I've seen the things they do to turn their troops into these so-called chosen. It's barbaric.
We have to stay strong.
It's gonna be hard without Eli, but we'll muddle through somehow.
Jacob's completely insane. He's not even trying to hide what he's doing anymore. I tried to help a runaway once. Something had chased him down, took a huge bite out of him. There wasn't anything I could do.
Jacob knows how to get into your head, twist things around so you don't know what's right anymore.
I've heard they starve you, sometimes for days. It's how they break you.
I trust in Eli to steer the militia right.
Every time I see one of the cult's judges, it makes my blood run cold.
No one escapes the chair. The stuff they use on you, the things you see, you can't imagine.
Yeah, Jacob's a real piece of work.
I've never seen people so frightened for their lives.
We just gotta put trust in each other, that's all. We'll get our freedom back.
I keep hoping that things are gonna get better.
Jacob's got the wrong idea about sacrifice. The militia could teach him a thing or two about that.
I don't think anyone can go through Jacob's trials and not be changed.
Jacob's gone and turned our mountains into a boot camp for fucking psychos.
Jacob's planning for the end of the world. I just don't want to be any part of it.
Jacob's got training grounds all over the place. I've seen them out there shooting anything that moves.
Normal? I hardly even remember what that was.
The Whitetails need all the help we can get. We're making headway, but Lord knows we've lost a lot of good people.
We gotta put Jacob down, like the sick dog he is.
I can't believe it. I mean, Jacob's actually dead.
It's finally over, is it? About time, if you ask me.
There's still a lot of work for us to do before things get back to normal around here.
I hope Jacob rots in hell.
Whew. Safe to say we got the father's attention now.
Made a bet with a few folks about when Jacob would die. I didn't win the pot, but sure glad he's gone. I still got that bet about when Joseph would die.
I've never wanted to celebrate a human's death this much. Then again, there was nothing human about Jacob. So celebrate it is.
Our job ain't done here. All those judges are still scaring the shit out of people. We'll put down every last one of them.
Hope that's the end of it.
Wish Eli was still around. He would have liked to have seen his mountains free of these zealots.
The father isn't gonna be happy his brother's dead.
After all his talk of sacrifice, I'm sure as shit glad Jacob made the final one himself.
We won't be safe until the father is dead.
Never thought I would see the day when Jacob's reign of terror was fucking done.
We have to let time and hard work bring things slowly back to normal.
Glad that's over. Time to put things back the way they were.
Jacob's dead? Good riddance. Yeah, let's party.
I can't believe it. Jacob's really gone.
All that bloodshed. It was all happening around me, and somehow I survived. How come I get to survive, and not the rest of my family? How's that fair? How do I move on?
It's gonna take a while to rebuild, but we'll do it. Don't you worry.
Aw, yeah. Time to break out the brewskis.
Jacob Seed was a monster. I'm glad he's dead.
We got so much work ahead, so many homes to rebuild, and so many families that need our support. But that's what we're here for. Thanks for fighting with us. Glad someone finally took out the trash. Now maybe things will finally get back to normal.
Yeah, things are much better now.
I can't believe it. Jacob's really gone, ain't he?
So Jacob's gone, but the father's still alive and breathing. It's not right. Joseph deserves the same fate as his brother.
As much as I love Montana, maybe I should live someplace with cell service. I don't want this cult thing to happen near me again.
This region has been through the ringer. It'll take years for us to rebuild.
Well, there's a lot of work left to do, but for now, I'm just happy it's over.
I hope Jacob rots in hell.
Excuse me while I dance on Jacob's grave.
Jacob's dead. Now that's what I call cause to celebrate.
I hear Jacob's dead. I hope he suffered for all the pain he caused us.
The militia has a big job rebuilding on its hands.
This area's clear. Now if I can just get rid of that little hippie that's parking my ex-wife. It ought to be legal to kill your wife's lover. That's something I'm gonna push for once I'm senator.
Thought I'd be happy once Jacob was dead, but I don't feel anything.
Thank God Jacob's dead. Now maybe things can get back to normal around here. Thanks for getting rid of Jacob and for dismantling that army. You'll always have a home here with the Whitetail militia.
World's gonna keep on turning, but without all that death and destruction here for a change, I imagine you're needed elsewhere.
Jacob was just one piece of the puzzle. This won't be over until we take down the father.
Wonder how long it'll be before I can get my old job back.
Still got aimless Peggies out there. Damn shame we can't change them back to the way they were. But we'll take care of our own here.
Now that Jacob's dead, maybe people will come back home.
Hope folks around here haven't forgotten how to use a hammer. We have a lot to rebuild.
You imagine if we didn't have guns? We'd be fucked. There's still Peggies out there who haven't given up, so I ain't putting away my gun just yet.
It's gonna take time to get things back in order.
Gonna be glad when things start to feel normal around here.
Good riddance. These Peggies are more left-wing than California showfolk.
Jacob might be dead, but there's still plenty left to do around here.
It'll be a long time before people will forget this.
Yeah, but now I'm worried about the father and what he's gonna do.
Really want to see the look on Joseph's face now that his brother's gone. He knows people are coming after him.
We've got him on the run. Now to finish it.
Jacob's dead. Time to break out the good whiskey. I'm glad Jacob's gone, but it's hard to be happy when we've lost so much.
I'd like to know who finally got Jacob and buy them a beer.
If Jacob's got a bunker stocked with all that stuff he stole, we can get it all back now.
You've been a real help to us. Couldn't have won without you. Eli would be proud.
Things are much better now.
Joseph's next. We've lost so much because of him. Jacob's to blame too, but the father's got a lot to answer for.
Real grateful we got the Whitetail militia, and I'm glad you could help us. Just wish Eli could see all this.
You're a real hero, you know that? You dropped by when we were barely hanging on, and then you took out Jacob to boot. What you did here won't be forgotten.
Didn't have the courage to fight, just not in me. But I'm grateful and I'm thankful we're free. And I'll definitely remember all you did.
Would have loved to see Jacob strapped to a chair, watch him taste his own medicine, but... Right, that's asking too much. Thanks for getting rid of him.
Eli was a good man. He'd be proud we avenged his death.
I would kill Jacob 100 times if I could.
I didn't think we'd make it without Eli. But here we are. Jacob's dead. We even got our land back. All thanks to you.
I want to sleep for a long-ass time. This whole fight took a lot out of me.
This isn't over. We're gonna keep fighting until every last Peggy is dead.
Next up, the father.
I'm gonna need more beer.
So, Jacob's dead? Reap what you sow, I guess.
Time to grab a margarita, kick up my feet, and never hear about Jacob's indoctrination shit ever again.
Damn straight. We kicked their ass.
Now that Jacob's gone, things can get back to the way they're supposed to be.
Someone told me about Jacob's Gate, bunker of some sort. I guess he was planning for the collapse, but he didn't plan on dying.
Maybe now I can get back to some fishing.
If you want to take down Eden's Gate, you have to cut off its head.
Tell you what, Jacob was the worst of the seeds. Wait, no, maybe Joseph's worse, but it's a real blessing that that military whack job is gone.
Jacob's dead. It really happened. Better mark my calendar. From now on, I won't be taking my freedom for granted.
Maybe now things will calm down.
With the Whitetail's help, we can start rebuilding now. Won't be like it was before, but it's still our home.
Whitetails are still here even though Eli's gone. We gotta put down them judges. Don't think they got the memo about Jacob being gone.
It's good to see people smiling again.
We're gonna need some help getting back on our feet after all this.
With Jacob gone, everyone can finally stop looking over their shoulder.
You can't keep a good man down. Glad to see everyone coming back and fixing things up.
This is a beautiful region, now that it's out from under the thumb of Jacob and his fanatics.
So much has been lost. I don't know if we'll ever recover from this.
I wish I could be happy, but they took everything from us.
We could stand around and celebrate our newfound freedom, but we'll never really be free till Joseph's gone too. We got work to do.
Jacob's got a bunker somewhere, building up inventory while waiting for the collapse. Pretty sure he's too dead to care right now.
Wasn't easy, but the Whitetails did it. Don't think Eli would be disappointed. I sure wish he was still here, though.
Wonder why people keep hoarding stuff when they're gonna die anyway. Like Jacob. He's got this bunker full of stuff, but he can't bring any of it to hell with him.
I want to save those judges, find a way to turn them back. But all those secrets about their creation, Jacob took him to the grave with him.
I hate having to put down those judges when it's not even their fault for being how they are. It's all Jacob's fault.
I don't think we have enough beer for all the celebrating I'm gonna do.
It's gonna be a long time before anyone's gonna feel safe around here again.
When I get home, I'm gonna raise a glass to the Whitetails who didn't make it.
I'd like to know who finally got Jacob and buy him a beer.
The worst is over, but there's a lot left to do.
You're not even from around here, yet you took Jacob out for us. You're more than all right in my books, but Joseph doesn't think the same. Watch your six.
It ain't over till Joseph's in hell, too. I want to celebrate, but it's not a complete victory till the father answers for what he's done.
We got Jacob. Now let's get his fucking brother.
Peggies and judges are still out there, so I wouldn't call it safe just yet. Well, good thing them Whitetails are sticking around.
We've lost a lot of good folks. We can never forget them, and we won't.
We can never let something like this happen again.
It'll take some work, but we'll be fine.
We're free for now. But sooner or later, we gotta deal with the father.
Too bad for the wolves, but judges just have to be put down one by one.
Victory sure tastes good, don't it?
I hope they fed Jacob seed to those wolves of his.
The Whitetails are helping us rebuild what we lost. That's what a community is all about.
Jacob's dead, but there's still Joseph to take care of. He's probably real mad he lost his brother.
Peggies used to be decent folk, but I'm glad most are gone. They weren't even themselves anymore. May the Lord have mercy on their souls.
Everything, everywhere you go, is wrecked. We got a lot of work on our hands.
Gonna take a while before anything feels normal again, but we'll get there. All wounds take time to heal.
Now that Jacob is dead, we can all breathe a little bit easier. But the job won't be done until we deal with the father.
I don't know if I'll ever feel safe again.
With Jacob dead, maybe Eli can rest in peace. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad Jacob's dead, but there's still the father to deal with.
We're running things here. We took back what's ours, and from here on out, we'll make it better. At least we'll try to. Thanks for all your help.
Too bad Eli isn't with us to see all this. Maybe you should consider being our leader here. Hey, just putting that out there, but hey, you do you.
Jacob's dead, and that's the best news I've heard in ages. But Joseph's still out there, so it ain't over.
We'll build back our community piece by piece. Too bad it's always easier to destroy shit than it is to build it. But we'll manage.
Have to admit, it's a huge relief knowing that monster's finally dead.
The cult's judges are still roaming the mountains. It's not safe to go wherever we want just yet.
Damn cruel there's no way back for people who got turned into Peggies. Shit, maybe it's better that way. If it were me, I'd be too guilt-ridden to want to live.
No better feeling than winning.
It's good to celebrate, but we still have the father to deal with.
Things are safer, but life will never be the same here.
Everything in the whole county's either broken or burned down. We got a lot of work to do.
I hope Jacob rots in hell forever.
I don't know what to say. I can't believe it's finally over.
Glad Jacob's dead. Couldn't have happened soon enough if you ask me.
Jacob's got it coming, that's for sure.
It's gonna take a while to fix all we've lost. Some things just can't be replaced.
What can I say? With Jacob gone, we all owe you our lives.
Goddamn, we're free. I'm done hiding. I'm done fearing for my life. Then again, I heard there's still judges out there, so maybe I'm not done hiding yet.
So glad Jacob's dead. People can rest easy now, knowing they won't get taken, locked up in a cage, or get brainwashed.
Eli will always be a hero to me. Too bad he left this world before Jacob died. Not real sure how either of them died, actually.
We paid a real steep price to get our freedom back. Nobody should go through this. Wouldn't wish it on anyone.
We got our home back. We're all so grateful for you and the Whitetails. I wish Eli could have seen this.
Wish Eli was still here. He would have liked to have seen this. The Whitetail Mountains, back in the hands of its people.
Still too early to hang up my gun. Still got Peggies and judges scattered about. Our folks ain't safe just yet.
Eli would want us to help people. To rebuild the community back to what it was, or at least some semblance of it. That's what I'll do.
It won't be like it was before, but at least we sent the cult running. Time to give the dead a proper goodbye.
Never forget all those whitetails that gave their lives so we can have ours.
Jacob might be gone, but there's still plenty of Peggies around.
After what he did to Eli, I'm glad Jacob's dead. If anyone deserves to die, it's that psychotic bastard.
Jacob's gone, but that won't bring my colleagues back.
I want to forgive those who were turned into Peggies against their will, but I'm finding it hard. They don't even realize what happened to them. Some are still out there.
I prayed every day for Jacob's death. Glad to see some prayers got answered.
Jacob's dead, the deputy's saved. Maybe things are finally looking up round here.
So many people died, so many people grieving, all because of this damn cult. We were at war, but at least we're free now.
If those judges hunt on command, how do we make them stop? It's like Jacob took the user manual with him to the grave. Damn maniac is still giving us hell when he's dead.
Still some cult stragglers out there. Nothing the Whitetail militia can't handle. Real shame that some Peggies are people we used to know.
People can live their lives. They got their freedom back. They can carry their guns. It's feeling like the US of A again.
You can say that again.
Can't count how many times Eli saved our asses. Wherever he is, I'm sure he's smiling now that Jacob's dead.
I know things look wrecked now, but give it a chance. Things will come back to normal again soon.
Wonder what the father's gonna do without Jacob.
If only Jacob's judges got the memo about their master being gone. Whitetail's got no choice but to put them to rest.
Word is Jacob had this bunker he used to stash lots of stuff. Since he's dead, he won't notice anything going missing.
It was a real honor to fight alongside you. Could have gone better. But in the end, we did it.
Damn. We can't change the judges back to the wolves we had. We'll have to take them out. Jacob's dead now, but he left behind a messed up ecosystem with the few wolves left.
Maybe there's a chance things will get back to normal now that Jacob's gone.
I feel bad for the people brainwashed by the cult, but there's no saving them.
I'm not sure if I could ever forget what happened here.
I'm never gonna forgive Jacob for what he did to us. I hope he rots in hell.
Shit, we're gonna have so many funerals. Most the Whitetail Mountain's ever seen. We'll be in a state of mourning for a while. Thanks for ending the war for us.
Heard some of our people saying it's over. It's dangerous thinking if you ask me. It ain't over till it's over.
We ain't out of the woods yet, not when the father's still out there. His brother died, so I don't think he's too happy either. Damn, we're still screwed, aren't we?
We can finally give Eli the farewell he deserves. He was a true American hero and he won't be forgotten. May he rest in peace.
There's one thing we can be thankful for, and it's that Jacob's dead. Eli knows, wherever he is, what you've done.
You did real good here. We can start rebuilding and make the Whitetail Mountains great again. Be good to yourself.
I can't believe he's really dead.
So many of us have lost our homes and our businesses ever since that cult moved in. It'll take time, but at least we're getting a second chance.
Good to see things getting back to normal.
Knowing people like you are out there gives me hope. Joseph has no clue what you're capable of. Let it be your weapon.
Judges are still out there. Jesus, Murphy, there's no end to them. When all this is over, I'm moving out of here.
We can finally give the dead a proper burial. They left us way too soon, and they were in so much pain. May they rest in peace.
If there's some way we can save those judges or change them back, Mother Nature would be happy. Right now, She's gotta be pissed.
My mind feels like a cloud's been lifted. Which means my mind is free, I guess. Never want to live with that kind of fear again.
I think we can take a second to celebrate the fact that Jacob is dead. Good work.
Good to see people helping each other out. Rebuilding. That's what good people do. Lots of my neighbors are gone. Some did the smart thing and left. Others, well, they're just gone.
We'll rebuild. That's all there is to it. We gotta begin rebuilding this place.
I'll be glad to come back here in a year's time to see how things have recovered. I can't believe that after all we've been through, Jacob is actually dead.
Safe to say we got the father's attention now.
I'll be honest with you, I thought we'd never see Deputy Pratt again. He must be thanking his stars he's still breathing.
Good thing you found the wolf's den. Eli built this place from scratch. Pretty much the safest place you can be these days.
Good to have you on our side, Deb.
Eli worked on Jacob's special bunkers. Did you know that? Turns out they didn't get along. Who would have thought?
Just 'cause you're okay in Eli's books don't mean you are in mine.
I hear you have Jacob running scared. I can't tell you how happy that makes me.
I heard Eli pulled your ass out of the Grandview. Good thing, too. You don't want Jacob to get in your head.
Eli has to keep the location of the wolf's den a secret. If Jacob was to ever find out, there'd be hell to pay.
Eli doesn't just let anyone into his bunker. Gotta be a Whitetail militia or someone he really trusts.
Have you run into one of Jacob's crazy wolves? They scare the crap out of me.
I've never been in the wolf's den. Eli keeps its location secret to us normal folk.
Jacob's gotta be scared now thanks to you. You're a whitetail as far as I'm concerned. Eli says you've turned the tide, but Jacob's still out there. It's up to us to put him down.
You're the one I keep hearing about. The one fighting Jacob and his damn Peggies.
I'm really not supposed to talk about the wolf's den. No one is.
I heard that Eli saved you from Jacob. Maybe there's hope others can be saved too. Word's going around about the work you've been doing. Have to say, I'm impressed.
Eli's done wonders with this bunker of his. It's stocked to the rafters with supplies.
So you've seen the wolf's den, have you? It's fully stocked just in case.
Eli's got cameras hooked up everywhere, all feeding back here to his command center.
Gotta keep the wolf's den secret. Can't let them Peggies figure out where it is.
Isn't the wolf's den amazing? Eli really put his heart and soul into it.
You sure you want to be poking the bear like that? Jacob's not one to cross.
You're the one Eli rescued, right? Jacob must sure be pissed.
Eli's been taking the fight to the Peggies. He hates Jacob something fierce.
Oh, hey, I've heard of you. You're the deputy that escaped, right?
Tell me you're gonna put a stop to Jacob and this whole Project Eden thing.
This cult shit has gotta stop. At least the Whitetails are trying.
Not many people get to see the inside of the den. Can't let those Peggies know where it is.
You look familiar. You're the one going after Jacob, right?
The wolf's den used to be just a weekend retreat. Now it's our home.
Hope you're here to help. Things have been going from bad to worse.
Don't know how Eli does it, but he's got eyes all over these mountains.
I don't know what the Whitetails would do without Eli. He's the glue that holds us together.
Eli says these Peggies deserve everything coming their way. Hell fucking yes.
Have you seen the supply room? Enough there to last for years.
Morale is not great among the Whitetails. Too many have been taken recently.
Have you talked to Eli yet? He's been looking for people like you.
Eli doesn't risk his neck for just anybody. You must be special.
Whitetails gotta stick together. And you ain't no whitetail.
You've met Eli, right? He's the man with the plan around here.
Hope you ain't looking for trouble. We got enough already.
I know you. You're the one showing the Peggies who's boss around here.
Jacob's been trying to take people. Glad he didn't get you.
You're that deputy, aren't you? I heard Tammy talking about you.
I've always heard about the wolf's den. Just never thought I'd see it. Not sure when Eli first started to build it, but it's been getting bigger every year.
So you're the one I've been hearing about. It's good to have you on our team.
I just want you to know that what you're doing here is appreciated.
Eli's thought of everything. There's even a working shower.
Not sure who you are, but I'm sure glad you're on our side.
You're really showing Jacob who's boss. Good job.
I had no idea the wolf's den was here.
Imagine that.
Eli's one of a kind. Don't know what we'd do without him.
If you don't know about the Wolf's Den, I'm not going to be the one to tell you.
So, you've met Eli? Not sure the Whitetails would exist without him.
If the Peggies ever found out about this place, we'd be done for.
Could have been a deputy like you, but I took a bullet to the knee.
You be careful. We can't lose you. Not now.
You're the one Eli keeps talking about. Glad to have you on board.
Have you heard of the Whitetails? They could use someone like you.
You're not a Peggy, but you sure ain't no Whitetail.
Be sure to eat a balanced diet, not just fish.
Hear you've been doing a number on those Peggies. Good.
Who can predict what Jacob will do next? Fucker's crazy.
Do you think you can do it? Kill Jacob, I mean.
Whatever you do, don't let that Jacob guy get into your head.
I hope Jacob doesn't get you. We need people like you.
A rod can never betray you. It can break, though.
Have you seen all of the Wolf's Den? Pretty amazing, if you ask me.
You're really giving it to Jacob. Good on ya. Whitetails keep kicking ass. Somebody's gotta.
I don't recognize you. You're not from Montana, are you?
Watch out for fishing competition. Bears.
I've heard of you. You're that deputy that's helping out.
One day, I'm gonna try fishing with my bare hands.
Look, I don't know you from a hole in the wall, but I don't want any trouble.
Took some balls to try and arrest the father, that's for sure.
It's people like you that'll put a stop to Jacob's plans.
Somebody got the Peggies all riled up. Was it you?
Watch your back. I hear Jacob's after you.
Eli says you're bringing a whole lot of pain to these damn Peggies.
I don't care what anyone says. I know you're here to help.
I heard you raising some hell out there. Raise some more.
Not many would stick their neck out for us. Thanks.
Not sure I've seen you before. You new?
I think Eli mentioned you. You're that deputy, right?
Gotta be careful. Jacob's boys are looking for you.
You'll have to earn trust. I don't just give it away.
Jacob sure is pissed with you. I'll tell you that for nothing.
Fish shouldn't have teeth, and yet some do.
Eli's trying to save everyone he can from those Peggies.
I hear someone's putting it to the Peggies. I'm guessing that was you.
The Wolf's Den is the needle in the whole goddamn haystack.
Can you believe it's illegal to fish in some places?
Whose bright idea was it to try and throw the father in jail?
Not sure how I feel about you. Yet.
You're that deputy, aren't you? Glad you're on our side.
Not bad. You're not afraid to stir things up. You're the one that's been helping us Whitetails out, aren't you?
Just keep doing what you've been doing. It's working.
Gotta be careful. Don't know who you can trust these days.
You with the Whitetails? They need all the help they can get.
You look familiar. Wasn't Eli looking for you?
What are you supposed to be? Some kind of cop or something?
Not sure how we got in this mess, but I figure you know a way out of it.
Whitetails need some help. You look like help.
Just don't let Jacob get his claws into ya, okay?
Can I just say that I'm glad you're on our side?
Continue what you're doing, and we'll get them all in no time.
Be careful. There's Peggies all over looking for you.
I know you. You're the one after Jacob.
Haven't seen you around these parts. You lost?
You are quickly becoming a legend with the Whitetails, my friend.
Better be careful. Peggies are pretty much everywhere.
You've been making a difference round here, mark my words.
You're the one that's been showing the Peggies what for, aren't you?
Whatever you do, don't end up in Jacob's cages.
So glad you're here. We need all the help we can get.
You're not one of those goddamn Peggies, are you?
If there was ever a time to cowboy up, this is it.
Killed any Peggies lately? Right on.
Jacob's coming after you. You can count on that.
Keep it up. Peggies ain't gonna see the Whitetails coming.
You watch your back. Jacob's been looking for you.
Never know who you're gonna run into around here.
Jacob is sure gonna be sorry he ever messed with you.
Don't get slapped by a fish. It sucks.
Like what you've been doing around here. People been talking.
The Whitetails are the only ones holding the line against the Peggies.
Have you met Eli? He's been looking for people like you.
Heard good things about you. I hope they're true.
You're a goddamn inspiration to the rest of the Whitetails.
Things are getting pretty crazy with Jacob, aren't they?
Don't let me stop you. Keep killing them Peggies.
I heard you're making trouble for Jacob. Good.
Say, you're that deputy, aren't you? The one that got away?
Now you've done it. You've gone and made Jacob mad.
Things have been getting pretty crazy. Sure glad you're here.
Deputy, hearing good shit about you.
We ain't no friend of Jacob, which makes you okay in my book.
Thanks to you, we have a fighting chance around here.
You're just the kind of person we need in these parts.
Don't hook your thumb. Happens to folks a lot.
Hope you're ready. Jacob's been looking for you.
Jacob's gonna shit himself when he's seen all you done.
Keep your gun handy. I hear Jacob's looking for you.
You look real familiar, but I just can't place you.
You're the one that's been showing the Peggies who's boss.
Have you heard of Eli? He's been looking for you.
You look familiar. Have I seen you before?
Have to say, you've ticked Jacob off something fierce.
If you can't fish patient, you can't fish.
You're one of those deputies, aren't you?
Pretty crazy setup they have at the Wolf's Den, huh?
We gotta be careful not to overfish.
Not many people are willing to stand up to Jacob.
Eli doesn't just let anyone into the wolf's den.
I think you're really getting under Jacob's skin, you know that?
So you're the one Jacob's been after.
Hey, find your own spot. Just kidding.
You're something of a legend round these parts.
You've been doing some great work. Keep it up, friend.
I'll feel safer when Jacob's 6 feet under.
Been hearing a lot about you, the things you've done.
Maybe I can fish near my house again one day.
At least you're doing something about these cult freaks.
You don't look like no Peggy, that's for sure.
The Wolf's Den is what we Whitetails call home now.
Things might actually improve around here with your help.
You better not be hanging with Jacob and his men.
Don't recognize you. You new?
You're our only hope of getting out of here alive.
Pressed for time? Just eat fish raw.
We need more people like you, that's for sure.
Have to say, you sure look familiar.
Sooner or later, they'll get you too.
You're different from the other cops I've met.
So glad the Wolf's Den is in our hands.
Don't know what we'd do without Eli and his whitetails.
Feels like we got a chance now, thanks to you. You have to get Jacob for us, okay?
Good to see someone stand up to Jacob and his goons.
So, you're one of the Whitetails now, are ya?
Things have gone from bad to worse around here.
A friend's face is a boon in these times.
You show a lot of guts standing up to Jacob like that.
That Wolf's Den has eyes on the whole damn forest.
People sure are learning not to mess with you.
Somebody has to stand up to Jacob and his kind.
I think I've seen you hanging around the Wolf's Den. Gotta say, I feel safer with you around.
So you're the famous deputy I've been hearing about.
Round here, trust is earned, not given.
Someone has to make Jacob pay for what he's done.
You really are stirring up the shit, aren't you? You one of them deputies who tried to take Joseph?
Things have been getting pretty hairy around here.
Ain't over, but it's coming thanks to you.
Sure am glad to see a friendly face.
You sure been making a name for yourself around here.
I've heard of all the good you've been doing. Keep it up.
Keep killing them cult freaks. We like that.
Jacob's got his eyes on you. Watch it. Eli says you're doing good things out here.
Too many Whitetails have been taken by the cult.
Not sure if my heart can take much more of this.
You've really been a big help to the Whitetails.
Jacob hasn't gotten to you yet, has he?
Eli's the only one that can get us out of this.
You're the one that started this mess, aren't you?
Things have been looking up since you've been helping out.
You really are showing Jacob what for.
You're the one that's gone poke the hornet's nest, aren't you?
Things are pretty messed up if you haven't noticed.
You're the one Eli talks about all the time.
Things are really looking up now that you're here.
You've really been stirring things up out there.
If no one's told you, you're doing good.
I wouldn't want to be on Jacob's bad side.
Sure glad you showed up when you did.
You look like you could be of some help around here.
Things have been getting kind of tense around here.
We've almost got Jacob. We're close.
You're not one of Jacob's goons, are ya?
Jacob better watch himself with you in town.
You're the one driving Jacob crazy.
You really poked the bear, didn't you?
Making quick work of them Peggies, am I right?
You look like someone who knows what they're doing.
Glad to hear you're on our side.
Folks are feeling safer now that you're here.
Hell of a fight out at the Wolf's Den.
You're the one that's gonna take Jacob down?
I bet the cult thinks you're a sinner.
I'm sure glad you're on our side, Deputy.
You've done so much for us already.
You seem like someone Eli'd want on his side.
I never met anyone quite like you before.
I feel badly for those poor wolves.
You're here to help, aren't you?
You're not here to cause trouble, are you?
Nice to see a friendly face round here.
Can't imagine fishing with a spear.
Things are looking better thanks to you.
You're sure pulling your weight round here.
You here to help, or what?
Peggy's been asking questions about you.
I can tell you ain't one of those Peggies.
You're pretty brave to stick around here.
Heard they tried to arrest the father.
Friend of Eli's is a friend of mine.
Knew you'd be back round my way.
You picked a hell of a time to visit.
Not sure you belong round here.
Jacob's looking to skin you alive.
Don't take any shit from anyone. We're gonna beat these monsters.
Keep a clear head out there.
Eli's been raving about you.
You're pretty fearless, you know that?
Can't lose with you on our side.
Where'd you come from, Deputy?
I hear Jacob's hot for you.
You're quite the fisher, I see.
You ain't lost, are you?
It ain't safe for you here.
So glad you took care of Jacob. Now maybe things can get back to normal round here.
Never thought I'd see the day Jacob was gone. Just wish Eli could have seen it too.
Never thought I'd say this, but you're my favorite deputy. By far.
You're the one that took care of Jacob? You're a goddamn hero around here.
I didn't think they made people like you anymore. You know, heroes. Thanks for putting things back to rights round here. Couldn't have done it without you.
Gotta say, you're a sight for sore eyes. A real goddamn hero.
I can't believe it. The guy who took down Jacob. It's you.
Everyone knows what you did for us, and we can't thank you enough.
You're the one, right? You took out Jacob. Good on ya. You saved a lot of people round here. Don't think we haven't noticed.
I can't believe all you've done for us. Thanks.
You've done the folks around here a great service taking out that monster.
Things sure are better, but the show ain't over, not by a long shot.
Gotta say I'm a big fan of yours. Big fan.
We can all breathe a hell of a lot easier now that Jacob's gone.
Thank God you took care of Jacob. You're a saint in my books.
Have to say, can't thank you enough for all you've done for us Whitetails.
Jacob's dead. I guess we have you to thank for that.
Eli said you were something special. He was right. You gave us hope again, friend. Can't thank you enough.
Can't thank you enough for taking out Jacob like you did.
Heard a lot about you. You're a regular inspiration. It'll take your help to rebuild all that the Peggies destroyed.
You've done the impossible. You've given us hope.
Oh, hell, everybody knows you. You're a hero.
Jacob's dead, and I hear we have you to thank for that.
Didn't think there were many people like you left, the ones who cared. You've done so much for us. We're so grateful. I can't believe you did it. Killed Jacob, I mean.
You really the one that took Jacob out? Can't believe it.
You've done good, taking care of Jacob like you did.
I know who you are. Everybody around here does.
We all owe you a debt of gratitude for killing Jacob.
Now that Jacob's gone, you gotta figure out what to do next.
Sure as shit, you are a force to be reckoned with.
I can't tell you how good it feels to be free of Jacob. Eli's smiling down on us, I'm sure of it.
You took on Jacob. That took real guts. Gotta say, things are better thanks to you.
Can't thank you enough for all you've done round here.
I hear Jacob's gone, and we have you to thank for it.
Don't look for the fish. The fish will find you.
You've helped us out more than you can know.
You don't do things by half measures, do you?
You deserve some kind of medal for all you've done.
Fishing's good for the old brain pan.
We won't soon forget all you've done for us.
I can't believe all you've done for us round here.
Now that Jacob's taken care of, who's next? That was equal parts skill and luck.
Couldn't have done it without you, that's for sure.
You really saved our bacon, Deputy.
Got some gear I think you're gonna like.
You're always welcome round here, neighbor.
You're famous around here, Deputy.
You, sir, are a damn hero.
Sure wish Eli was here to see this.
You're a hero in the North now.
I'm so glad you made it.
You don't need to be fit to fish.
You're the reason I'm still alive.
You deserve your own statue.